Hello.
That's why we're more of a family than a pirate crew. So
Yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I have my notes in chat. Okay. So last we met our crew, they had made their way. I should keep my book in front of me. Oh my god. Yellow pretzel buddies. Oh, Matt doesn't have this. Last we met our crew here. Y'all had made it to the Foxloft Reach. Didn't you buy that like yesterday? It is like halfway empty. How much peanut butter is in your body currently?
Not enough.
I love it.
Let's see who finishes it faster. Go.
I love it. But y'all had made it to the Foxloft Reach area, to the Tall Mauser port, where you had set had a set up meeting of sorts, a mission to turn in. Unfortunately, you were short most of the captain, but you had, because like I said, you're not really a pirate crew, you're a family. And
I feel like a lobster for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, something. But you had the name of who you were supposed to meet up with, and Mr. Dewey. You made your way through what looked to be a city in the midst of preparing for a giant festival. Chatted with the dockhand and learned that, yeah, this was. I have notes. I remember that. The first feast was being held there. All of the hunting families were coming in for a big hunt. There was going to be feasts and festivals and music and activities. And this place, you'll learn, is kind of loaded when it comes to old world things, as there are actual crystals and jewels and metals and things that have been dug up from under the eaves of the trees. But when you went to go meet with Dewey, you got your payout of some spending cash, as well as some cargo of some pretty nice guns to sell off for whatever you so choose. And you met the architect king herself. And after a bit of a chat, she was impressed that y'all survived everything. And with, the help of Drake speaking her common tongue, as well as Indy just being an expert at chatting with these folks, y'all are set to have dinner with her, as well as anyone else of her company. But in the meantime, Drake and Ruby went off to meet with one of the what are we calling the spyglass?
Order of the Spyglass.
Order of the Spyglass. The keepers of the Spyglass.
Order of the Spyglass is what it says.
There's a gnat in my face.
Spider hanging off your eye should help.
I know, right? The spider should really take care of it. I'm confused.
There's Casey. Oh,
she does have a spider in the big palm tree, like directly outside of her window. It's a big orb weaver, and it's got like a massive web.
Awesome.
It's super sweet.
Yeah, he's my buddy. I also have a little spider that lives up in the corner that all of the ants and gnats that have infiltrated my office get stuck in. And so he's my favorite because he eats them. I coexist with the spiders here. Look, we're in Southern California. This time of year, you're not getting away from them. They are here. But inducted Ruby into the Order of the Spyglass as part of the helping with getting maps and charts and the likes. And then with Dredge and Quario, they signed up for this Leviathan hunt to just be a part of it. While some people are here trying to become a part of the family, they're just in it for the thrill of it. Well, I think Quario was in it for the thrill of it that Dredge had the thrill of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in that camp, but not the thrilling part. Yeah.
Yeah. In it for Dredge's thrill.
Yep.
And yeah, with that, let's see. And Indy, I didn't know, I got so distracted. Indy met another wonderful gal, a art, not collector, because they were photographs of their own taking, and photographs being a very nowadays word. I don't remember what they actually called it.
It's a docent.
Look
There
at
we go.
those graphs.
Look at those graphs.
So a docent is a caretaker of the museum. They could also be a patron, or they could be a contributor.
Nice. Where is that adorable fella's name?
I was trying to remember it too, and I couldn't.
What's that? I know it's like specifically written in here. I will find it. I will. I found it. That was quick. It was Tandrick's Picture House was the actual thing, but I think they had a different name. I wrote it down somewhere, so I'll have to find it. I think that was their last name, like taken on. But yeah, with all of that, we will start the evening later in that evening as the sun is, or I guess we'll say late afternoon, early evening. The sun is starting to set. Everything is nice and orange as the foliage here is very fall like. You can hear the little like chitters and chirps of various fox-like creatures kind of jumping around in the waves. Waves, obviously, giant treetops. As well as the party is starting to fucking go here, guys. There is music blasting from various parts of the port. You can smell food. There are still crafts and things being sold and created. But
I thought I
the
was muted.
it was ambience. Keep going. Where I'm still painting the picture here.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
But yeah, with that, the hunting families' boats have come in, and the population of this area has like quadrupled at this point, as so many different people have come in off the ship. Casey, do we have you? Are you hearing and able to talk? I don't know. Nope. Oh,
I hear
Oh,
like every other word ish.
yeah, that's very robotic.
all right. That's fine. But now we have
That was a
Casey.
very
So
dredged noise.
it was. We do have Casey now. So, real quick, everybody, as we have done our announcements and recap, we're going to go like a super quick break because we're just going to switch to a less demanding video platform. So, we'll be back. Like, give us like 30 seconds, give us a minute, however long it takes us to switch over. We will be right back, y'all. Okay, now we're back. I forgot I had to switch my microphone and headphone inputs before I hit that we're back. We got it. Can someone talk for me on y'all so I can just make sure I hit the
Hi.
Hey.
beautiful. Yep.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, everybody should be able to hear everybody. Let me know, please, at any point, everyone watching, if things sound a little off, if anyone's too loud, anyone's too quiet. It's a little harder for me to manage this way. Okay. Let's go. The hunting boats have come back in. And with that, who I know obviously we have Dredge and Quario, but would anyone have also accompanied on this Leviathan hunt?
We did leave a space for Drake if he wanted to.
Yeah, fuck it. I went.
Yep.
It was a party.
The patty. Cool beans. Then I guess I'll do some rolls to see as far as which boat of the three families seem to have impressed our Leviathan the most, because as y'all went out there, you realized you kind of heard a bit from that wild old Ectus that y'all chatted with.
Yeah. Old man Ectus.
Oh,
that
man.
guy. I love that.
Man.
This is just living life. That the Leviathan, who goes by the name Old Ornail, of course, is some sort of freak of nature in the way that it is just a Leviathan squirrel, but maybe is a little undead, maybe isn't, has maybe been here forever, is maybe not. There's a lot of mysteries around it, but the hunting families and it seemed to have some sort of rapport in which they just beat the shit out of each other until Old Ornail finally is like, all right, here, take something and get out of my hair. And y'all were a part of this. So we will roll to see which of the three boats, but I would like to hear from y'all's point of view, maybe just like a little scene, a little thing that would have been interesting that you took part in during this Leviathan fight. You were on one ship, but everyone was close enough you could have jumped to. You could have gotten down into the trees if you would have liked. What's something y'all would have done?
I think the only thing that I can do is navigate and look at stuff. So I'm going to say I saw the Leviathan before anybody else, and I immediately told Casey. So Dredge had to jump
Right.
before anybody else. He had first dibs.
So as soon as Drake would have told me, I'm at the front of the ship like I usually am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as soon as he's like Leviathan ho, whatever we say back then, I take off. I run to the center part of the ship, and then I just take off, throwing my like chain shurikens.
You would have also found a big ass sword like you wanted, some sort of big ass blade or
right.
saw. You know,
it's
your cloud
right
moment.
on my back.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yes.
Yeah. So I'm immediately going through the woods and trying to stay right with the monster until I'm there. They're just straight berserk, one-handed, trying to go on top of this thing's head. Like, I'm not even waiting for like an official let's go.
Yeah. I'd say too, like, you know, when you get up there, one smells like a wet animal that's been outside for forever.
Oh, lovely.
But also as you hop up onto, we'll say like the back of his head on his neck kind of area, you notice that a good portion of the side of his face, you can just see bone and like a part of his skull where it's like the skin just covers just below the eyes. And then you can see down along its snoot, just like all the bone and the teeth and the jaw and everything up the side. But you're quickly distracted as you realize, you know, animals have fleas. That's no different for a Leviathan. as you also have massive fleas
I'm fine.
that attack. You insides burn from the crezerin that just is like covering this creature as you are just like, others will start to jump on, but hit after hit, you've got other things to deal with too.
Can my thing is after saying this, Quario will just walk off, but continue to walk because he's levitating, but just walk over. And then he'll stick his arm up and then call down lightning, screwing up a lot of those little fleas so that Casey can do his thing.
Absolutely. Yep. I'll say just to, narrate just a few other things. You've got, quite a few different hunters, especially the ones that seem to join in on actually being on the creature, being a lot closer. Very young, like young blood. It seems a lot of them, seeing that you are a little bit more seasoned, probably look to you a bit, as these are clearly people that are like trying to become a part of the family, that are like really in the middle of it. But maybe there's a couple of times too that a couple of them go kind of flying off of the side of the squirrel, and Drake is able to kind of catch them with the ropes and everything from the ship and able to help back and forth here. Let's roll this as a group challenge here. So
I just want as a visual for everybody, if this is going all the way back, if you've seen Meet the Heavy from Team Fortress 2, that is the exact energy I'm giving on top of this thing right now.
Yes. I need somehow a third desk. The two I have are not enough space here. All right. So we will do it as a group here, of where I'll basically, with y'all's skills, we'll build up a dice pool and then we'll roll and we'll see how well you do. And that could define on if Old Ornail gave your ship the boon or not. So with that, probably just because Dredge is leading it, let's start with, what edge do you want to add on to this for the first D6?
Oh, we're doing teeth, right?
Absolutely, you can. Then
that's one.
For one. So then skills, you can have up to 3d6. All of you can contribute. Is there a certain skill that you would like to add? You can only get up to 3d6, so.
I got 2 in sense. So we can, add 2 from there.
Okay. Does someone else have a sense, or would y'all like to either?
I have also 2 cents. So.
Okay. So we can make that, well, we've got the teeth leading it, the 3d6 worth of sense kind of helping along. Now we have up to 2d6 of advantage. I would say probably could use easily Dredge your weapon, as it is one of your aspects.
Right.
Use my lightning.
I love that.
Is a trait.
Yeah.
I could use Skenosis. I can't use my hull sight because it says your ship.
Yeah.
But Skenosis says nearby ropes and rigging.
There you go. Perfect. So yeah, that will give y'all a full thing here with my beautiful little pastel swirly dice. Let's roll and see how well you do. I'm gonna say, obviously, y'all are doing great. But if we get a double, y'all get the trophy, or your ship gets the trophy. Y'all could decide if y'all keep it or give it to the hunting family. But let's see if we get doubles. Yeah, we did. We got 2 5s, 2 4s, 2 2 or 2 1s. We got lots of doubles.
We got 3 boons, enough for everyone.
Yeah, I know. Y'all got that on lock.
Goodness. So as this fight kind of goes on, it is very much a cat and mouse kind of game of, you throw, the hunting families throw a couple of punches, Old Ornail throws a couple of punches. I can only say it, nail. I can't not say it with an accent. Nail. How do you say that word without a West Texas twang? Someone say the word.
Ornail.
Ornail.
Nell?
Ornail.
Because it's spelled
Nail.
like a nail that you hammer. Nail. Nail.
Ornail.
Yeah. That'd still be Ornail, yeah.
Okay, it just for some reason, every time I say it, I feel like I'm.
Ornail.
Yeah.
Ornail.
I can't nail. It's like
Like
my
screw or nail. Ornail is pronounced the exact same way.
nail. I still feel real hick when I say nail. It's like my mom says baby dial instead of baby doll. She's got
Baby
that
dial.
still to this day. She hasn't lived in West Texas in 48 years and says dial. Okay. But after a bit, playing this cat and mouse game, things, you can tell he's starting to get a little worn out. You can tell things are starting to kind of turn in y'all's favor as there's a few more dodges that the ships are able to make as he's a little slower. People are, with their different magical abilities, able to kind of siphon away the Krezerin effect, so it's people aren't as slow anymore. And you can tell that he's kind of done playing with his food kind of vibe. And after a bit, he dips down under the waves. And y'all can feel the rumble of him moving around, but he's not close enough that anyone can see. And there's kind of that silence of everyone being like, are we done? Is it done? What's going on? When something comes shooting out from under the tree line up into the air, it spins a few times and then lands on the ship that y'all are on, straight into the deck. It like stabs into it as it's probably about a 4 or 5 foot, not like solid, but a chip of what looks to be a claw. Just solid,
Nice.
black, sharp, like it is into the wood of the ship. There's cheers. People are lifting up. You can see some of the elders that are kind of like eyeing some of the young folk. Mm-hmm.
Which was the one that you wanted, Casey? You wanted the like cool silver torpedo Megadeth team, right? I remember.
It's the Blackthorns, I believe.
What?
Yeah,
Blackthorn, I think.
It's
Black.
the ones with,
Black something there.
Mhm.
it's the ones that don't have the extra that looked at us like meme mugged us. They meme mugged us.
Which I'm
They
so
did not like us.
sad we didn't. If we would have got to play last week, Hoop was going to guest and play that character.
Oh, nice.
No. That's unfortunate.
It was great. He did not even go on the hunt, we'll say now, since we didn't have Hoop with us. He seems to be maybe an elder. But
Okay.
the ships start to kind of come in. You've got to kind of ferry back and forth as this is a giant, basically moving island of ships. So it takes a bit. What is y'all's kind of reaction here as it all comes up? Because I think, seeing as we did roll so many doubles, your ship did get it, and you have the opportunity to have this. As I think one of the elder, probably another ironbound, seeing as I think we said that this had mostly ironbound kind of stayed on this ship. Again, still a big mix, but the captain at least is this, we'll say, like very surprisingly like detailed and dainty and kind of frail looking ironbound, of where it almost looks like the bark of like a cottonwood or a birch, or one of those that kind of peel away. It's kind of got that vibe on its plating that is very, very thin, with some more almost clockwork, very intricate kind of gears and stuff kind of creating it, but you can see just that bright kind of glow in its center from the soul of it, the power of this machine. And they'll walk over to you, and I think probably doesn't speak verbally as more as you hear it in your head of them talking. And they're just like, thank you. This was quite the treat for our young ones to learn from such seasoned sailors. They'll be welcomed into the family, but I'd like to offer you the prize, if you'll take it.
Taylor, what if we take the prize? What does the prize get us?
Whatever you want to use it for. You could sell it off. You could try and make it a weapon.
$1 billion.
Yeah,
I was about to say, if I could make this, if this is like Monster Hunter, I would really like this as a weapon.
absolutely you can. It's a sharp
if it
claw
can help
covered
if it
in
can
like
help.
Krezerin. We could say it could have like some lingering Krezerin effects when it hits people.
I don't know if you're into it.
Made out of the fucking claw that hooked into the deck.
Yeah, like the claws,
That's
with like a.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
make
what I
like
was actually thinking about, Holly. That's exactly what I was thinking about, Holly. I was like, that would be a wicked sight.
It's like that Elden Ring claw hammer.
Yeah, I'll be like, thank you. We would like to have this, if you do not mind. If you don't need it for any other situation, because at the end of the day, sir, we're just passing through. I did this for fun.
No, you take it. We have plenty of trophies, as they'll kind of motion behind them to where there's a wall with like various old hilts and blades, pieces of bone, other fragments. Like it seems like they're probably the more historically successful ship by older Nails standards. They're like, no, the information and skills you shared with our crew is token enough.
Awesome. All the proper mannerism goes away from Dredgen as he picks this thing up like he is a Sandman, a sand dude out of Star Wars, just over his head.
Ah,
Super excited.
love it. All right. Well, you all come back in to port. We'll say that, obviously any sort of shopping that would have been done by, I don't know if maybe Indy and Ruby met back up to go through Ruby's extensive list, or if y'all just kind of hung out and tried the local fare and ventured about. But everyone will come in and the group will be back together. As they said, about sunset would be dinner time. Are y'all ready to go chat with the Architect King, who wanted to just enjoy the evening, try some spicy tea, get to know you all, but also had another job that she thought you might be interested in taking?
Indy is back on the ship making dinner and getting everything prepped, like trying really hard to fill the shoes of the proper hosts. And is like, but also has the different species med kits waiting on the plank to come up to the thing, and a sign that says, "Heal yourselves, I'm in the galley."
I love it.
Mom's momming.
That food's getting made. All right. Any other chats you wish to have or preparation before the king and her court arrive? By her court, probably just Dewey.
Who's our inventor? I forget. Do we have one?
Inventor, as in like make
well,
shit.
Who could change my giant black claw into a scythe? Because I do not have that skill set.
I probably can help with that.
I was like, I'm more of an inventor in the chemical sense.
I'm more of a define what the properties are of this thing.
Okay.
I look at things real good.
I literally first want to show Indy. But then I hear her cooking, and I'll be like, no, I might have been dead for the last 900 years, but I know that tone. And then I'll find anyone else just to show off my prize that wasn't there. Like, look!
I have to be right back real quick. Biscuit decided to climb up my leg with her claws. So I need to go tend to that.
You should have moved to let her have free reign to jump. You should know this by now.
In Biscuit's realm, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
well, I mean, I did say to heal yourself, so this counts as healing yourself.
Yeah, for Dredge, Ruby totally listens to everything. Any detail that you tell her, she is eating it up like it's a graphic novel. Like, she is like, tell me more. Tell me all about it.
Oh, yeah. He's in full showmanship. And then he realizes and looks and he's like, I should probably change before the guest gets here, shouldn't I? Because he's all, like, anything that he had is, like, destroyed.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of y'all get like that little burn in your nose when any three of them get too close, just from the lingering like resin and like ick on them. It's like, not it's to the point that everyone deals with a little bit, but you're like, maybe rinse off.
Okay.
Just a little.
Alright.
Just a little.
There you go. So, yeah, that's
I
it.
think to clear that, I don't think I don't think Quario washes, but what he probably does is he heats up his core really hot, so he makes everything molten, and then he just kind of pours everything back in, and it circulates out again, so everything just gets burned up, and then new signs and stuff
Love
are
it.
there.
Love it.
Oh, we're on new signs. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today it's billboard pieces. So there's
Ooh.
medical names
Law.
and law.
888. Save my ass. All those like really stupid law signs.
Have you been
It was-
saved?
He was gonna call.
Don't be a
He
Democrat.
thought his name was Dewey, but he decided to go with another name instead.
Love it. All right. Well, then after a bit of sharing tales, fixing up your duds, there's some chatter. As we'll say, I will also add to. I don't know if Matt can still hear me because I feel like Drake would be the one to notice. Your ship looks a little cleaner. Clearly, no one really has been touching it. It has been well taken care of. Like the bit of help that Dredgen gave to the dock worker has paid off, as he has made sure that your ship is in tip-top shape. It is refueled. Well, not even refueled. They left some fuel because they're like, we don't understand your engine, seeing as it's not a real fueled engine of any sort.
Someone took a quick nap in there to make sure everything was running right.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, I've been having nightmares anyway. It can have them.
I mean, but Indy would find them while everything else is going on and be like, "Do y'all want to stay for supper?
They're like,
I just need to know how many places I'm setting."
we'll just kind of wake up. We're like, maybe. Yeah, actually, that'd be nice.
You look a little young for some of the stuff that I'm serving, but I'll have plenty for you that'll fill your tummies right up.
It's like a little Mothrin. Just because I feel like that would be the most adorable child creature in this world. It's just a little tiny moth. I'm like, okay. Kind of scurries off. But after a bit, there's some chatter as there's not like necessarily a procession. Like, it's not flashy, but it's very clearly like there's some guard to this individual kind of walking down. It's kind of like when you see like a generally popular celebrity and there's going to be like one or two dudes kind of like with them. And the dock workers, especially, seeing as the Architect King has already kind of mentioned that she made sure that certain people had the job, know who she is, and to act right so they can keep their job when she is around. But will make their way up on the ship, and she has essentially like a couple of large, almost like picnic baskets, and kind of like looped on both of her arms. As she walks up, and you've got Dewey, and then just a couple other guys that are kind of there to just make sure that no one fucks with her out in the general public.
So, if you'll allow me, I will set the scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on the deck, underneath the mainsail, so that there's no direct line of sight from the docks, because the security things. There are two tables put together on the long side facing out towards the ocean. There are two or three smaller tables that have chairs around them, and then there is another smaller buffet style table closer towards the dock. On the extra long table and the the smaller side tables, there is a spread of food. There is mulch for anybody who prefers that kind of food. There is carrion and other sorts of vegetables and things for people who eat organic food. There is some kind of like plasma thing. Don't ask where Indy got it, just understand that there is plasma there. And also there is sea kelp and some other delicacies that I was able to find and barbecue up. And so there are some rolls as well. There's one section that's set up for the dock workers and the guards. Equally good food, like it's all the same food. It's just set away from where business is going to happen. And then just little called in little fireflies to like make it all pretty. And then there are two big urns. One says spicy water and one says regular water. The spicy water is in a purple urn, and basically next to it are all these dried packets of whatever people want to add to the water for their drink.
Love it. She'll kind of look over the spread. It's like, oh, this is quite impressive. I brought a couple of delicacies from this part of the area as well as wine, though. Maybe I can just hold on to that because it seems like you have the drinks covered.
Having never hosted a party before, we used to leave that up to Anyway, I may have gone a tad bit overboard.
I mean, maybe that's to your opinion, but I think this is quite spectacular.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Pirate or Architect King, ma'am. How should we address you?
Oh, well, like I said, when you said madam earlier, that was quite nice, but Victoria, if you want just a normal name.
Victoria. That's so pretty to say. Can I try something?
Yeah.
I want to translate an image to her of like a blooming flower that word reminds me of. Almost like a synesthesia kind of thing.
Yeah. I think there's kind of a moment, like takes her off guard just a little bit. It's like, huh. It's been quite a while since I've been around a gal, especially one with creativity.
Well,
and sensitivity.
That may or may not have been something that I got kicked out for, but you know, that's another story altogether. And also, you know, my crewmates and companions, they all inspire.
No. Honestly, I mean, who finds their way out on the waves except for misfits and exiles? That's how I made my way. I think we're all just in good company.
Well, the food's not there to be looked at. Go ahead, dig in, everybody. We don't stand on ceremony here.
She's not shy. She will grab plates.
Grabbing a little bit of everything. I want to try this weird-ass plasma stuff. I want to try this. I want to try this. Just like...
Be careful with the plasma stuff because he just goes right in. He just sticks his fingies right in it and it just starts. You just kind of see his like...
Why you gotta say that?
Fingies?
Yeah.
He has fingies. They're not fingers. They're fingies. They're not quite fingers.
They're finger-like
there's only like
objects.
one knuckle, so we're almost there.
And it's at the worst point to have a knuckle bend. Too.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah, it's just the bottom one. So it's just.
But it's both ways too. So he.
Great. Great.
This is the horror. Just imagining how Corio moves. I didn't plan anything.
But like the plasma like changes like the structure. You see his kind of like glowing structure kind of like almost like burp. So like his whoop, and it kind of goes out, and you just see his face that is just usually sockets of stuff, like spark off. But then goes into the plasma and then goes back into him. But he's just happy. He's just mesmerized.
The architecting Victoria definitely looks and does a little like interesting, like definitely not looking in the way of like interesting, you know, just like okay. And we'll sit down. Who else would be sitting around for? I mean, is everyone kind of coming to the same table after Fingy's plasma time?
No, he'll just turn. He'll keep his fingies in the plasma, but he'll just turn his head to wherever everyone is.
I mean,
the front of his body is facing one direction. His head, like his face, is what.
But can you really tell what is the front and the back when it's constantly changing anyway?
No.
You know.
No, but you know something's wrong. That's all you know.
It's like that's uncanny. That's uncanny valley there. I think Dredge pulls up. And he's trying to be on his best behavior, but he's still running that high. So he's got a piece of kelp that he's chewing on like it would be jerky. And, you know, he's just like...
Exactly how I would have planned it too.
Yeah. He's like...
So...
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, before I forget, every once in a while, you just see Dredge take what food he has and stick some of it in his little backpack thing.
For the spiders or for the cat?
Both. Whoever gets it first.
Well, the cat's sitting right here.
Oh, okay.
You mean right here?
Yes, right here. Well, it's also here.
It moves.
Here,
it moves. It's got glow places.
it just kind of goes through his chest area every once in a while. And just
they're just poking out every once in a while, and every one of those is just an indent of it.
And every once in a while, just like here you go, and they'll run back in. So, but yeah, every once in a while you'll see him feed the growing colony of spiders.
Love it.
So, really, hopefully everybody else had a good day. I mean, I had a great day.
I can see. I guess the hunt went well for you all, and I assume checking in on the spyglass went well for you?
How did she know that we went to the spyglass?
Yeah, it went quite well for me, and I'll point to Ruby.
Ruby is like, you do that, and Ruby is like cheeks full. Like as if she's never eaten anything in her whole life, and she's like, yeah, like Chunk in the Goonies.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how I imagine her doing it. Like
We're good, guys.
it's so good. Like, it was great. I got a second family. Like, it's like a voice that you've never heard out of her. Like,
She just kind of giggles at it. She's like, wonderful. They are quite wonderful. I mean, I've used agents from them many a times for certain informational needs. I'm glad to see I have a couple of others to maybe pull from. This is a wonderful spread, obviously, and it seems like a party is imminent. So before maybe we break open the spicy cask over there, should we talk a little bit of business?
Oh, absolutely, please. And we'll pull out the chair for Victoria and everything.
Well, as I said and Dewey said, you all have impressed us. I never heard of you before, and you survived the hell that is the moving dunes. I have a favor. Well, I guess not really a favor, because I will pay handsomely for it. I have a job, I guess. Maybe. Definitely one that I think if you succeed in turning in, I would not be opposed to considering you maybe top of the list of asks for future jobs. As you know, mine pay quite decently compared to anyone's.
So I will look to Drake, and because apparently we seem to be co-leaders here. Well, I'm in favor. What do you think?
As you look, like I'm biting into the plasma and like electric shoots through all my tentacles and like across all my stuff.
He's gonna try. He's gonna take his figgies out and try to catch those, and eat up your memories.
It's like that. Damn it, Gavin! It's like that. Was it Jack from The Incredibles where he bites the outlet and like is super electric-y? Like that's whoa. Yeah, I mean that sounds amenable to me. I mean, I guess we need to start earning an income. With the captain not being the one coordinating anymore, I guess it falls on us. Yeah.
I suppose you are correct. So Victoria, what kind of endeavor are you looking for assistance with?
Well, it's a bit of a two-parter. Are any of you two familiar with the... She says it quick. I've lost it in my notes. The Crimmage Surge. Which, Drake, that's where you're from. That reach.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with it. In fact, I was born and raised there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, what?
Thanks.
They say that the people that leave the Cribbage Surge are usually the better people from there, so...
Yeah, more or less. Everyone else is there because they like the murder part of the murder kill main.
Yes.
Effective.
So from that ominous bit, I'm sure you can all understand that there's a little bit of a danger there, but I have a debt that needs to be collected from there, and part one of this job for you. I've sent 4 other crews, and none of them have returned. Not a single sight of their vessel, any sort of word of them going anywhere, coming, going, the likes. Seems like they've just vanished from my sight, and I don't know if that's because they've decided to join the factions there or have been lost to the under eaves. But either way, I'd appreciate checking in on that. I would like to know maybe where they're going and any sort of cargo that might still be left on the ships if they have met a more unfortunate end.
Do you have those names, or are they written down and we'll look at them later?
Yes, I can write them down for you, but the name as far as the vessels are the Seabird, the Celeste, the Danzig, and the Resolven.
Okay,
I
Seabird,
imagine you're...
Celeste, the Danzig, and what was the other one?
Resolven.
All right.
I'm going to imagine that it's the completion of the task they were sent on that's of most importance for you, not on the health and well-being of the crews you've sent, yeah?
No, I would love to see them home if they are healthy and able, honestly. I like to think that the merit of my friendship and how much I pay would mean that they would not do something stupid and switch sides, but I would like to hear word if they did, and if they, like I said, are lost at sea, I'd like to let the families know at least. But this, the second part, and what they were going to deal with. The circus champion, Carrie Bladesong. The circus is a horrid cult. They are mostly posted at the Bitter Massing, though I am not allowed in that port, nor are any of my crew. Me and her don't quite see eye to eye, though we have unfortunately had to do a few dealings here and there, and she owes me a package. The deal is, my crew will sail by the bitter massing with my flag flung, then we'll meet up at the Spite Harbor, and they'll drop off the box, you take the box, you come home. That was the case for all 4 of my last crews, and none of them did return. So.
A couple of questions. I am assuming that you do not want this package opened.
Oh, honestly, it's fine if you do. Real quick though, I guess I can do this anyway. She'll start saying something that sounds almost like a fully different voice, any language you have not heard, or just like tongues almost, as there's nothing to really grasp onto as like syllables or phonetics. And all of you get this image in your head of a cargo box that's like not big, not small. It's probably like a little larger than a coffin, a standard size coffin would be, for lack of like other identifiers for that size of a box.
Oh, indie size.
Yeah. And it kind of flashes in your mind, and then it goes away, and then almost immediately you cannot recall the image of that box from your memory.
My biggest concern is that if there is something living in it, what it requires to be living. If it is not something living, is it something that could be potentially hazardous to the ship in transporting it back to you?
Oh, no, nothing should be living in it unless they've placed something there, but it should not, nor is it toxic or hazardous, and it's quite small and shouldn't take up much room in your cargo bay. And now, once you all see it, you'll know it is the proper one, and if you wish to look in it, you're more than welcome to, though just know, once you're not looking at it, you forget it.
Very good. All right, then.
Wait,
I'm on board with this.
No.
Are you? Oh, sorry.
No. What is it?
You'll
Say
see.
cargo. No, you say cargo like it's something that you're just gonna pick up and go.
Yes.
How does it... Quario would now actually, after forgetting something, he's going to take his things out of the plasma and go, how does it make you forget?
Whispers, of course. It's a box of whispers, for layman's terms.
What is it that's so valuable about this thing that 4 crews dying is not a significant enough price to pay for its retrieval? Dying, going missing, however you
I mean, you're
choose
part of the
to.
spyglass. You should know how important whispers are. The information that is only given to certain people, only
the
remembered.
cargo itself is a whisper.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
It's information that's important to have, and a few tchotchkes that I've just been missing.
And whispers are different from ghost spirits and spirits, right?
Right, yeah. So whispers are kind of just this more like metaphysical idea. They can be memories, they can be feelings, they can be things that like maybe can only be said once and then are lost forever, or are looked at and forgotten as soon as they're not viewed, or, you know, various different things. So yeah, she'll kind of just explain that just in general terms, be like, yes. So whispers and some tchotchkes are left behind I'd rather like to have again. So easy.
Quario will put just one hand. You kind of rotate his body again, like just thinking, and then just puts only one hand with fingies in it. But he's not kind of now more paying attention and facing the group than before.
Does anyone else have any questions before we decide? Sorry, I don't know why I turned into a English person, but
It's
apparently
very
that is a
hard.
new aspect. That is a new aspect that I am not used to.
Remember, that's how you get accents.
You just choose to have it, and then it's yours.
You just
Well,
Yeah.
I
Canonical in this
appreciate
world.
that.
yeah.
And so now, canonically, when I am dealing in in this capacity of negotiations, apparently I'm going to have a British accent. And she, like, they almost emulate Victoria's voice. Anyway, I have no objections.
What's the pay?
I mean, I was in as soon as she said it was something she wanted, so
Good man.
I'm easy.
You're gonna
with
let her
response.
step on you. We get it. We get it.
The pay should be as good or better than what we received for our previous job.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
And also, we have been promised top billing for any future work.
Absolutely. Whatever it is that we have, you'll have first choice at taking the job or denying it. And I will pay handsomely for whatever it is that you return back. If you bring it, obviously, I have some good cargo, some that is a bit pricier you could sell off, as well as I'll give you scratch and more cargo per crew you're able to learn the fate about.
I think there's a small whisper, like, as he backs up, as he's talking to the spiders, and he's like, "Oh, it works for me."
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say, Ruby, she doesn't really say anything. She doesn't say that the answer is no. But she does not give an emphatic yes. It's compliance with the majority for her. So when this happens, it makes her feel uneasy. Because the whispers that she's aware of are what would be like campfire ghost stories. And so for her, she's like, okay. Like, I don't get a name, but okay. I don't get to know what it is, but okay. You know?
Noting for later.
Yeah.
I think Quario gives an intrigued but cautious yes.
Drake?
I mean, if the intent is to acquire more information and she's invoking the order, like that's literally, like that's part of our stick rate. Like if it's in an area that I know really, really well, so I'm not concerned from a navigating perspective or a exploratory perspective. It's more of just if we need the money, we need the pay, and we build a relationship with Hot Mama, then I'm in, right? Like,
Wow. With
Did
that, I'm
you
gonna
say
get
that
a.
out loud?
no, I'm just explaining, like,
Okay.
yeah.
Then, yeah. So Indy will say, "Well, then, dear Architect King, I believe we are in accord."
Wonderful. I'll be sure there it seems that Drake knows his way. I'll make sure you have any sort of charts you might need for the area, as well as if you so need, I do have some additional crew and such we could hire on if you wanted any help. Another, I guess, suggestion, tip, and warning all wrapped up into one. Those firearms that you got as payment for your last deal. Those will definitely go for a very pretty penny. Really, anywhere in the... Why can't I remember this? Crimmage Surge, but I guess to be warned that the factions and the gangs there seem to change their loyalties as frequently as they do their underwear, so maybe selling to one might be an act of war towards another, so choose wisely, or if you do want to make a good penny off of them, sell them on the day you leave.
On the daily leaf?
The day you leave.
The day we leave. Yeah. I had the same thing for a second. I had to like mentally parse.
Well then, we appreciate that, madam. shall we return to more pleasant things? Although making money is quite pleasant. I suppose.
Spicy drink. Is that?
Spicy tea sounds great.
I can make you a spicy drink. Absolutely. Switches into hostess mode. All right. Spicy, spicy, spicy. You are too young for that. Get away from there.
And like you hear Ruby pipe up in the background. You know, like the good stuff in the like.
A really good one.
Yeah.
All right. So I have. All right. I have spicy. Do you want spicy, Quario?
I'm okay, thank you.
Dredge?
One glass will be fine, ma'am.
All right, Ruby, I've got yours. And
I'll take Corio's, thanks. And she does not even give you a second. Like, thanks.
All right then, and I have mine, and Madam, yours.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that you do not want your guards to partake. Is that accurate?
That would probably be smart. Maybe
No
we'll take
spicy
them.
drinks for you.
Maybe we can take them a doggy bag home with treats.
I can definitely
My
make
God.
that happen.
Wonderful.
And then places a tea box in front of everybody that has a whole bunch of different flavorings, from mints to honeys to different fruits to mulled wine to whatever.
I just want to. Is spicy alcohol? But no, it's hallucinogens, right?
It's hallucinogens, yes.
Okay, cool. That's all.
Much more fun.
Much more fun.
All right. You can disagree with me, Drake, but when you take a lot of hallucinogens, can you spark up a lot more so I can get high off that? And I just take your
I was
memories?
like, literally, you're just
Yes.
literally a junkie of a different thing. Like,
Yeah. I mean, as long as we're not leaving tonight, then I can partake. But I'm not about to like hallucinate and fly or hallucinate and drive
I
or
think-
what have you.
we'll leave at the break of day. It's fine.
I
Of course,
think
we have
because
to-
he
Party all night, right? You can't party all night if you leave.
right.
Right,
I think
Drake? Right? like this is starting to like Ruby's had too, and she's tiny, so that shit is hitting her quick. Does not matter how much she ate. Like, and she's like, right, Drake, right?
So
Lord.
Okay.
does this count towards my hallucinogenic spores, or should I save that for later?
You can totally count it.
Yeah.
I think Dredgen, knowing how strong Indy makes their drinks, he just was like, I need to whittle on my prize to make it a scythe, and I do not want to be high. So he just grows like 2 more sizes. He's like, okay.
Compensates.
Yeah, he just grows, and he's like, all right, tosses it back, and then he
Should be able to
talks
handle it.
the old captain.
Do
He's
you
like,
have sap blood, right? Because doesn't that heal
Yep.
stuff too? Yeah, cool.
Yep. So I just let him know, like, hey, if you're gonna partake in any of the sap, Captain, be careful. You might go for a ride.
Wonderful.
And I'll just start slowly whittling away, making a scythe out of whatever this thing is. You said it's bone?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
claw,
it's like a
it's a
claw.
claw.
Yeah, so whatever that is. Blah, blah. So, the night goes on. Music can be heard, still kind of echoing down. There's drinks, there's food to be had. The Architect King will gladly chat with anyone about really anything. She's a pretty open book. If there's any questions anyone would like to ask of her, or if there's any chat you would like to have amongst each other, though, I will say we will take a quick break. So think about anything that y'all might want to bring up to each other. But I'm also going to ask each of you, what is something you visualize while tripping fucking balls off the spicy tea? And we'll talk about that when we get back. So everybody, go make yourself some spicy tea. Do a little stretch. Have some spicy rice. It's like just legitimate peppers because I'm hungry, so I'm going to do that. And we'll see you back in like 10 minutes. BRB, y'all. And we're back, everybody. So many more buttons to push. Welcome to part 2 of the Wildsea. I want to start, as everyone has been drinking, eating, partying, listening to music, dancing, sharing stories, the likes. Ruby, the tea is hitting. What are you seeing? What is in Ruby's mind as you spend the rest of your evening kind of just zoning out and ready for the next day?
So if there was a song to describe it without being cliche, and I don't care, it's Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix, right? It's like playing for her. But ultimately what it is that the thing about Ruby is like not only is she colorful, like as like the type of Mothrin that she is, she adores color. And one of the ghost stories that, that the whispers that she's heard of, which I talked to everybody after the game list, or I think maybe before, I don't remember, was the rationing. And so for her, it's loss of color. So this moment right now is all of the good vibes and all of the color. Anything that she sees is heightened. Anything that she is enjoying it's the best. Like she's that girl. Oh, this is the best. And oh my gosh, and she's not even, she doesn't do it on purpose with intent, but she hugs Indy because Indy is the closest to her. Like, does not think about it, just yes, thank you. And is like sees Drake chatting with the king on and off, and is like walks by and like high fives, and like it's just like it's nothing but good vibes for her. She's just living her best freaking life.
I love it.
All I see is this little moth just doing pirouettes around, just around the ship.
1,000%.
Super big pupils, like eyes so fucking dilated.
The fronds are constantly doing signaling, but it makes no sense.
It's just all pupil, it's just all black.
I need art of this right now. Just chibi,
High-ish.
Ruby, just like
Moth.
I can't do chibi designs,
I can't
guys.
either,
I'm
but I wish.
sorry.
I wish. I love it. Somebody get in the comments. Tell me someone that can do chibi.
I know, right?
We got enough people that have joined us and followed us. I'm like, somebody can do it.
Somebody knows it. While she's kind of pirouetting around, Dredge, what are you up to?
So Dredge has been working off and on while talking to some of the crew members, right? He's been working off and on with the claw, and he's got it pretty shapely, but he realizes like he still doesn't understand the effects, and he's like, I know. And he picks up this big claw, and I think Indy just hears the normal, and he puts it down in front of her, like, Miss Indy, I don't understand this courtesan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you can take a look at it, that would be awesome to see if, like, I'm making a scythe, and I need to know if I need to try to keep the majority of this stuff on my blade and polish the rest, or do I need to, or is it like, how does it work?
Do you have any shave-ins from this?
Yes, and I think he'll kneel down and put the shavings down towards you.
So Indy will pick up the shavings, put them in a cup with regular water in it, and swirl it around like a great connoisseur, and then splash it on themselves to absorb the information.
While you're doing that, I think Dredgen takes the time and he does like that whole anime cross-legged thing while waiting, like in front of the master, and he's like, "You seem to be fitting well into the co-leadership position. How do you feel about that?"
Well, it's obviously a big responsibility, but kind of I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's like I can tell you all the best course of action for yourselves, and you must listen to me. But at the same time, I know that there's a risk of letting that go to my head, and I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I want you all to be safe and to be well cared for. You know what do you understand what I'm saying?
There's that big rumble chuckle, and he's like, "I do," and we did listen to you before you became co-leader. You know that, right?
I mean, there is equal amounts of y'all listening and not listening, to be fair.
I think you watch, if you can see, you'll see a bunch of the orb weavers
Mhm.
kind of like start working their magic, and I was like, well, if it makes you feel better, the old captain, I forget her name, Taylor.
Ara. A-R-A.
Aura. Taylor, does Aura still want to be preferred as Captain Aura or just Aura now?
I think out of just familiarity, probably still wants captain, though. At this point, it's a name, not a title.
Right.
She never saw herself as captain, really.
Right. She never. Captain Aura is still here. She's just regrowing, and she's very, very proud of you and what you have done so far. What you and Drake have done, keeping people like me and my brother in charge.
Could I add a little like scene setting thing?
Yes.
Because little fireflies are still glowing, and the orb weavers are going. I think you noticed that the orb weavers making their little web. It's like in a little heart shape.
Oh.
That means a lot, Dredge. Because I want to do right by all y'all, since you all have helped take care of me so well.
And I appreciate that. And as long as, and don't worry about this going to your head. You're too good of a person, or too good of a shroom.
Gal.
Too good of a gal to, I think, let some simple ego trip take you away. Drake, on the other hand, I don't know.
Who's over there hyping himself up in the corner like, got this, I can talk to her, I can do this.
That poor being. But it's difficult to be on my own without connection to the mycelium, and so it's good to have affirmation from the outside.
You have my undying loyalty through and through. You don't, but yeah, no. I've just noticed you've been very nervous energy type situation, the frails and I mean, you just picked up an accent out of nowhere. That I have not heard you talk in years, so.
I haven't been in the negotiating chair since I've been on here, so it was difficult not to take on her own voice, you know?
Oh, I hear you. But you're doing great. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, and he looks. He's like, "So, any suggestions?"
So Captain, what properties are? Can you send me properties that I can give to
Oh, yeah.
to Dredge
Yes.
at after game?
Yes. Yes, I can.
And because he's been consistently working on it, and I think just because I'm not gonna just let Gavin have all the body horror, a big part of like his oak body comes out of his side, and he just takes his chakram and be like, bam, cuts it off. It starts starts working the wood now, and he's like, this will be a good handle.
Fucking love
Me as
that.
Nyx is
Yeah.
slightly phased, but Indy is not because Indy has to sit on food to eat it. So
Right.
I mean, this whole body horror thing is nothing.
Nothing to.
All right then. And yeah, scene.
Yep.
The camera, the view here pans back out and across the deck of the ship, where I think sitting on the edge that looks out towards like the actual like Wildsea, just to make it nice and fun. We got a nice big old moon in the sky that's illuminating everything very clear.
Love it.
Sorry, everybody calls me Moon, so it's like, yes, it's me.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm shutting off my mic now.
But the architect Ting, or Victoria, is sitting over there looking out the back. Hasn't had any more spicy tea or hugs from Indy, but is, riding the current high, kind of like leaned back on anything or on like some just piece of metal or round of rope or something. Drake, you've been hyping yourself up? Like that was a joke, but really, what have you kind of been up to? Yeah, you got high fives from
we'll
Ruby.
say, like, yeah, Ruby could see like me sweating, and she's like, "You got this, bro." So like after like having noticed her have left, he'll probably give her some space, like let her vibe if she's just stepping out for fresh air or whatever. And after he notices that she doesn't come back after a little bit of time, he'll kind of like shiver himself down, get little like sparks released, and step outside. And he has had a little bit to drink, so as soon as he stepped outside, like the stars are super shining and like bright, and the moon looks like it's a spotlight on her, right? Like it's just like dramatic scenes.
The fireflies are like glitter.
Yeah, and as he's walking by, he imagines it's like sha la 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 my oh my, like and they're like the fireflies and stuff flying around. And so he's like, all right, you got this. As he walks up,
real quick,
he's like, "You're
hold on. Before you say something, what is a vision? What is a visual that Quario sucks up from your sparks as you've been hyping yourself up and in this moment? What is something that they see in your spicy water induced attempt to woo someone hype up?
Insert like Drake running up and down the stairs in Philly like Rocky, like full on like pump, like, all right, you got, like, he's training for 100%, like, yeah, up and down, like shadow boxing himself, like whole 9 yards, jumping out, and then he jumps up and it goes da-na-na, and instead of like jumping up and down, he flies off into the sky.
Warrior, what a trip I'm running on right now.
The trip was not the flying part for him. It was going up and down the stairs very quickly, like normal steps. The flying is like, okay, back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you're bouncing like you're not levitating up the stairs like you're humanoid running up and down, right?
I think that
So it's
that
like
helps
that
him.
jarring hit.
It's like how hallucinogens can like help rewire brains. It's like, oh, that's how humanoids walk with legs. So like he gets it a little bit better now. He knows how to bend the knees a little bit better to look less creepy.
Oh my god, you joined the Matrix
I
and
love
learned
that.
a bit of Kung Fu.
I love that.
I love it. All right.
Oh, I know how to walk like a human.
So you got in the zone. Quario's possibly enjoying, at least learning from your trip. As you walk up to sparkling Little Mermaid Lagoon scene.
Yeah, what I should say.
Whole bottle of wine in her hand.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night, yeah?
These things are... The senses are quite tunneled. I didn't hear you coming. It is. It is indeed. I like this time of year. Before it gets cold.
Yeah, it's got that nice, like, crisp, if that makes sense, whenever you breathe in. It's not, like, so cold that it's, wear-inducing, but it's refreshing.
You know what else is refreshing?
And,
this wine. Would you like some?
Indie is magic, and yes, I would love some. They get and talking for a little bit, just kind of like, getting to know each other a little bit more, and then he'll go, I've been traveling the world for quite some time. I've seen all sorts of sights. I can see from every angle of a ship. I'm able to see and experience things that nobody else on the planet can. And yet, I've never seen anything as captivating as you.
There's a silent everybody that's in the earring. Like,
She sets the bottle of wine down and kind of like leans over. How many other people in ports have you told that to?
I've never met anybody that has got my attention in the same way.
I think you're full of
I
shit.
tend to stick to my crew.
Nobody.
Indy will be unfortunately close and just be like, it's true, he's usually on board.
cover for all of us.
Y'all are like Scooby-Doo, like picking up the corpse.
Yes.
This is anime, like all of us appearing over the deck.
We're straight
like,
living
on top
through
of
you,
each other.
Drake.
It's like, I mean, how do you want to play? I can only tell you what is my truth, and my truth is I've never experienced anybody as captivating as you, and I've never shared that sentiment with anybody else either.
Strong words
Believe
for
it or
someone you've
not.
only known for an hour.
Quite a bit longer than an hour. It was longer than an hour in game, right? Taylor, Matt, player
Probably,
conversation.
yeah. Close enough. Dinner's probably been a couple at this point.
Yeah. Sometimes when you know.
You don't get around
Takes
much
a bit.
off the ship, is what I hear your friends whispering about back there.
I mean, I get off the ship and I explore, but I'm stingy with whom I consider close.
That's smart.
Kind of
I wish I would have done
comes with
that.
the territory of being. Yeah. Hey, man, like, teach their own.
Well, Drake, you are quite interesting, I have to say. It's ballsy for someone who doesn't get off the ship much, is new into port, to swing for the Architect King. And for that, I admire you. Though, darling, I've been to many ports and I've had that said to me by many people. And let me just say that it's changed me a bit when it comes to matters of love and romance and all that. I don't quite know if you're... Pardon being crass, I can't think of a better explanation here. I don't think you're quite ready to ride.
Hey, that's totally fair, right? Like, I can only tell you what I've seen and what my experience has been. You know, this ain't going to be the first time that we have wine on a beautiful night like this. We can hang out, continue our lovely conversation, and maybe the next time we make port, once we return with all of the goods that nobody else was up to snuff to recover. Once I prove that, we're a little bit better than the other folk that you may have worked with in the past. Maybe I'll earn that ride.
Well, I guess that's to be seen. You're quite impressive, don't get me wrong. I don't want to hurt your ego or whatever. You're dashing. You're quick-witted. You've got away with your words, but there's a certain inner gusto I think you have to be able to be as connected, I guess, as I am. Which it looks like you're on your way. So I guess prove me wrong.
Consider it done.
Would you like a challenge? A bit of a wager?
And I've seen enough to know. Yeah, I've seen enough to know that there's no ego to be found. You're not going to offend me by speaking the truth, and I'll take you up on that bet. I'm quite confident.
All right.
In my ability to deliver.
Oh, can't wait to see. And she'll kind of stand up. You can enjoy the last bit of my wine. Homebrew, made it myself. And, I will say before I leave, when you do head on out, if you see my ex, tell her to go to hell for me.
Done.
Wonderful. And she just walks off.
What was her name?
Oh. My ex, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucker. I looked up the wrong notes.
Part of me is like,
oh, your accent really does change quite fluidly. It's impressive.
You're like, oh, Kari, of course. Played song, circus champion, blah, 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 blah. Granted, it was before she became the circus champion. She's become a bit cruel with her new standing.
You said it's Kari?
Unfortunately, some people.
Yeah.
Because I had Sarah's Blared song.
Oh, no.
So
Yeah.
spell for me, please.
Kari, and then
Okay.
played song like it sounds.
Awesome, thanks.
I'll be sure to send your regards.
Tell her to go to hell after you get my personal belongings, though, please.
Will do.
Well, I guess I'll see you next time you make landing in port.
Oh, I'll see you first. No worries. You couldn't hear me coming, but I saw you from a mile away.
Is it supposed to be ominous? Literally. Indy, your tea was wonderful, darling, and the spread was great, but I do believe that it's 'time for me to get going. I like to not be out when the sun comes out.
That is completely understandable. I have packaged some spices, wink, for you. I can't wink. I'm so sorry.
Like a
Love it.
trill, like
Yeah, there's like a frill. But I've packaged some for your later enjoyment. Because I have it in abundance.
Wonderful. Oh, and dear, when you get to the, why can't I remember the name of this place? The Cremage Surge. Any markets you find, they are quite plentiful with paprika. I think you would quite enjoy it if you don't have it in your wares.
I think that sounds lovely. And thank you for the lovely company.
Yes, of course.
Also, that one over there, he asked me for a hug. I did not give it to him, though. I feel like I hurt his feelings.
You can on the way out. He's technically off the clock once we get back to home, and it should take that long before it hits, right? Now I took your accent hit. It should take that long before it hits, right?
Yes. Well, it all depends on his tolerance, but he's a big old man. He'll do just fine. And I run up and hug him.
You're like, that seems well on a timeline now. It was wonderful to meet you all, shouting out to where everyone's just like peeking over the edge. And it was very lovely to meet you.
Drake will raise the wine glass that he was drinking that she left him. Just like it's like tip.
And she'll
Knowing glance.
Walk off the ship with a bit of a brisker pace.
Welcome to Indy. Indy, how long were you there? What did you hear?
Drake, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. But we'll get you that confidence that you need. Don't you worry. I've got you covered.
With more drink?
No, I don't want you to have a hangover tonight or tomorrow.
Smart.
I'm proud of you. You did a good job.
Dude, it was so hard, like, as a player, thinking, like, oh, I would say that, oh, crap. I would say that Drake wouldn't. I would say that Drake wouldn't, like, go into the role.
In-character flirting's the hardest, because you're like, what would my cocky-ass person say that me, who doesn't know how to flirt, would never know to do this?
Yeah, right?
But the night comes to a close. You all wake the next day with probably some water and tonics to be had, depending on how you're feeling, but are able to take off and begin your pretty lengthy trek, as we'll just for ease of time's sake kind of pass through that. You have charts. Would y'all have accepted having additional undercrew for this adventure from okay.
I would say yes. Ruby would vote yes for that.
Wonderful. So you have some crew aboard that we can kind of figure out a bit of their placings between now and next game. But they, with the help of having the actual yes,
Yay!
I love
The costume.
I love it.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Amazing. With having the crew helping, plus then of course your charts, and then Drake knows this area. He unfortunately up to him to decide was from here, but as you go, there's various days of just conversating and looking about and not much going on. But as you get closer and closer, you notice the sky stays a little hazy, a little foggy, thick, heavy clouds covering up some of the sun. Like you're only getting a little bit of shine here or there, as then these like really bright orange and yellow and greens and reds of the fox-off start to get browner and browner and lose a bit of that color as you make your way. There's more spindly branches that kind of come up that may be leafless in areas, especially some of the tall shanks that stick up above are very barren and craggly as you keep going. And by about we'll say it takes you a good week to 2 weeks, pumping on 3 to kind of make it that direction. And as you'll start getting a little bit closer, one of the crew members that has come from the Arctic King, older gentleman, very, very experienced and weathered, but still kicking it. Someone give me a name for this gentleman.
Rufus.
Will kind of, you notice that he's a little more on edge. His eyes are kind of darting around. He's looking off in the distance a lot more. He's probably checking Ruby a lot, being like, you see anything? You see anything? You see anything? But starts to seem like he, most of all, while the rest of the crew gets a little jumpy with it, Rufus seems to be kind of leading this jumpiness. Does anyone have any question for me?
I suppose that would be my course of action as the talker. So I will approach and say, "Hey, Rufus, how are you doing?"
I almost went into screw voice because it feels right, but if I go into this long exposition of why he's jumpy, I ain't doing it in this voice the whole time because it's gonna hurt real bad. So imagine that voice, but I'm gonna save my throat here. And he's just like, yeah, I just don't like being around these parts very much. There's weird shit that can sneak around, and I want to make sure we see it before it sees us or hits us or whatever it might do.
Well, that is very good to be vigilant, but you also need to make sure that you take some rest. If you're having a hard time finding rest, you may want to go sleep in the arbory. Wait, no. What's our garden area?
We have the night mushrooms, and then we have the solar.
The fruiting tree and the
energy
night
thing.
farm.
Yeah, and the fruiting tree. That was it.
So
And then a medical
you might
vein.
want to go sleep next to the fruiting tree. Sometimes that helps with the stress of long travel.
All right. I can attempt that, I guess.
If you have trouble falling asleep, let me know. I've got teas for just about everything, including insomnia.
Just make sure someone's keeping an eye out, all right?
That's why we have watches, dear.
Okay. I'll kind of shuffle off, still kind of looking around. Everyone's starting to feel a little uneasy. Here, I'm gonna
Point
roll.
of order,
Yeah.
Taylor, just a reminder. I have an ability, my Calico Slink. I can see clearly without any light.
Yeah.
So the fog does not affect my ability to navigate.
Sounds good. My die has chosen Holly. What is something that Ruby notices? And it could be something just normally in this nature or something out of place that she can see for a moment or visualize that also kind of puts Ruby on edge and really kind of just feels unnatural, feels out of place.
For clarification before I decide, can you give me a time of day?
Yeah, we'll say it's probably like mid-afternoon or so, though it is like still very hazy. The haze really hasn't broken for a couple days.
That's great. So for Ruby, as she looks, this haze, this fogginess is what right? The way the light refracts off of it, though Ruby doesn't know this, resembles flames. This is something that makes her so nervous, and she's rationalizing, right? Like she's like, it is water refraction, like blah blah blah, but to her it looks real.
You're noticing this, and probably a couple of times it catches your eye. You're trying to look away, like, no, it's rationalizing with yourself, and you like keep looking over, and it almost doesn't make sense as the ship is still moving, but where you're seeing that weird kind of refraction light is in the same place. It's not like moving in relation to where the ship it's always over the same general area as y'all kind of continue to go. And it just, is it just a reflection of light though? Or is it, I don't know. Yeah, probably nothing as y'all keep going. And thankfully, like I said, you've got the crew, you've got Drake. The ship was built for this area. Ara's from this area, like meant to be here. So while everyone else probably is like, oh my God, this is such a bumpy ride, as this area is very just like wild when it comes to root quakes and just general like tumultuous waves and such. It's doing much better than if y'all had come without any of these people.
As Drake is navigating, he's like, "Grr, I'm gonna sing the Doom song now." Just like vibing while he's driving through like the fucking crazy waves and tremors and stuff. It's like not a care in a world.
I think this is one of those rare times that instead of being on the bow of the ship, Dredgen is actually next to Drake, waiting for him to give orders exactly where he needs to cut versus just what he usually does, because of how familiar he is with the area.
Dredge, you hear something, and you think it's Drake. You hear, and it sounds drony, and it sounds odd. It almost sounds like a bit of a chant, like very monotoned. As you hear, in the depths it slumbers, dark and deep. You look over at Drake, who's just like, doom, 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 like fully not saying it.
Yeah, I hear that, and I think if Drake catches it, his normal colorization of his ghostly energy, like turns from green to like a dull blue, and but it comes right back, and it's like, and you just see him do one of these, where his skull face is, and he's like,
You doing all right there, Dredge?
When Drake says that, you don't hear those words. You hear, that which hungers, secrets it keeps, beneath the leaves, a sinister force, it takes its course.
Dredge, hello.
Yeah, he would flare up. He'd flare up. Like the energy just kind of flares out a little bit, and he's like, my bad. Repeat what you just said to me, Drake.
Hello. Are you okay?
Yes. Not convincing at all.
You don't look or sound like it at all.
I just thought you said a very old melody to me. But yeah, you wouldn't know that. Yeah, you wouldn't know that. Do you need something?
Doom, doom, doom.
No, not that. Yeah. Do I need to go cut somewhere? I think I just need to go out.
Taylor, what's the where we're at? For me, is it like, nah, dude, we're fine? Like, what do you mean? Or is it like
it's never
decent enough?
Yes, it's never not, dude, it's fine. Like, even for seasoned sailors, you got to pay attention, but it's like,
Sure.
he could help, you could make it. Like, it's kind of your call.
Okay, so yeah, if I just like understanding your vibe, you're like, hey, I just need to get out. It'd be like, oh yeah, cool. You can like insert coordinates here. Knock that out. It should be quick and easy for you. Give you some time to get some fresh air.
Yeah, and as soon as you give me those coordinates, he's gone. He takes off quicker than he usually does, to the point where he left his sword next to you. He's just going to use his energy chakra to disperse some of the energy that he just flared up. So
I'm gonna lean on the sword while I'm like driving.
Y'all, keep going.
Sorry, this is just a flavor. He's been doing this, and he did actually really good, like, pantomiming of that. But can we make this fucking thing run on, like, bells and whistles and pulleys and strings?
Absolutely.
And it's just like you're constantly just pulling different things.
It's like that the guy in Spirited Away at the bottom that just has all the like things constantly.
You're just pulling random ropes. You have no fucking clue what it does. That's definitely what the person was doing.
Yeah, fully.
I like that too, because the flavor of my skenosis, I can like telepathically pull the ropes. So like even the ones that are far off that do something that doesn't seem like somebody should be able to pull them in time with any level of accuracy or quickness.
I like that.
Like I'm just able to do while I'm doing other things.
It makes sense too, because like this was a ship like built and made by a Zealocray captain who could have like 30 arms if she wanted. You know, like it's very interesting. But yeah, y'all continue along, and you start to see in the distance a very, very tall, like it's almost silhouetted in this just like low light as you get closer and closer. The Gyre Crest, which is an ancient mountain that is just so tall it comes up above the peaks of the Wildsea here. Drake would know that along the side of this mountain, on this side of this mountain, is the Spite Harbor, which is the port in the town that Drake grew up in, and where you're supposed to meet after raising the flag, which you would have gotten. But you have to traverse to the other side of this mountain to get to the bitter massing to raise the flag for good old Kari Bladesong. But as you're going, Quario, where are you as everything's going on?
I think Quario's probably has stuck his fingies in the engine room so that he's kind of doing... I just love this slow no from Holly. Kind of making sure that the ship is running at full power.
And it is, y'all. After having a party of like 10 people tripping off their ass, this thing is fueled to the max. As for those listening or watching, their engine is fueled by dreams. So it's doing good. It's doing good right now.
The classic engine that's fueled.
Classic
by dreams.
engine just fueled by dreams.
Classic.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I'd say as you are down there with your little fingies and really in tune with the ship, and it is like a ride for you as well down there. I mean, even with the gyroscopic, it's you're having to blah 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 as everything is constantly moving directions.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
His limbs and head are the ones moving, but you just see this like stationary body no matter what.
Yeah. Love it. But it's, you start to notice that like you can just feel the difference in the air and in the vibe here, and you can hear, I mean, I feel like especially you being down here, being connected, but also being like the ironbound and having some like more senses and stuff, like it is almost like sonar, like the sonorous like groan of the iron roots kind of shifting constantly. You can hear and feel the like reverberations of root quakes further off in the distance, and you can like smell almost, I don't know if you can like smell necessarily, like note the kind of smell of like just the sap is different. Like you can hear these branches crack and they feel very dry. You can just smell this like acrid scent to it, and just everything about this part of the forest feels wrong. It feels different. It feels sick. It feels just very off. And then up above, we'll say Indy, seeing the last person who's had a little scene up here. While just kind of, where do you think you are? Kind of on the deck, kind of watching everybody?
I am in the galley, making sure everybody's fed. Real quick, did Ruby get a scene? Did I miss that?
Yeah. Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I'd be in the galley holding court. Basically, anybody who comes with a problem comes to the galley and talks to me while I'm making food.
I love it. Yeah, I think, you know, probably after a bit, what name him, Rupert, kind of comes back down. Rufus. Comes back down to just grab something to eat before like finally being like, okay, I'll go take a nap. And he's like, Indy, I wanted to apologize for letting my mind wander and get the best of me. You know, the last time I was out in these parts, it wasn't pretty. It's downright spooky out here, and I'm just letting it get the best of me.
Well, sometimes the best way to deal with those spooky situations is to talk about them. Do you want to get it off your chest? That way maybe I can find some way to ground you the next time it happens.
Oh, I don't know. If it happens again, all we gotta do is just run. There's what I thought was an old just scary story or wives' tale about that which hungers. It's just this unseeable, unknowable kind of thing that just plagues sailors in this area. And, you know, I thought it was, like I said, all goofs, but I still have nightmares about that night, and I don't know, I thought maybe coming back out here I would conquer it and I wouldn't think about it anymore, but it's downright spooking me still.
Well, here's the thing about conquering a fear, is that first you gotta face it. And it sounds like you're going through the facing it part right now. But here's the thing. You're not alone. All of us are here, and we'll all face this together.
All right. Just if the leaves start shaking weird, just everyone plug their ears.
Everyone plug ears. Okay, I don't have ears, but I understand your meaning.
All right.
Go get some rest. Do you want some lavender tea?
I'd appreciate that.
lavender tea was already steeping. So
Yeah. As tea kind of goes off, and then back up on deck, since Ruby's walked away, Dredge, Ruby's back to it. Y'all both see it. You both catch something in front of the ship, kind of fluttering in the sky, and you kind of look a bit. Dredge, probably takes you a minute to kind of realize what it is. Ruby, with your heightened sight, you see that it looks like a flag that has been ripped off of something. It's very worn, it's tattered. It's kind of coming from something that is in front of you. And as it moves in the wind and opens up, you notice it as the same flag for the Architect King that y'all have.
Ooh. Is it on a ship, or is
Looks
it?
like
is
it's
the
been
ship
torn.
moving?
It's just the flag in the wind. Like it's been torn off of something.
Like floating?
Yeah, just on the wind. Like a plastic bag or whatever that song is.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
I'll use my chakram, my chains, or in this sense, my iron roots, and I'll shoot it to grab the flag.
Absolutely, you can. Grab it.
So I need to run, all right.
Nice.
And I look up at Ruby, and I'm like, "You think you could?" Because we saw which way it came, like the wind, it brought it, right? He's like, "You think you could scan and see where this came from?"
Ruby is happy to do that. She does the best that she can in which the direction she came, like that it came from.
Mm-hmm.
As she looks out, what does she see?
Yeah. As the ship kind of keeps going forward, and you're getting a little bit closer to kind of the direction that it came, and out of a little bit of a rut in the treetops here, you see not really the glint of something, as there's not really any sort of light, but you see something clearly not the same colors as the tree in the distance. It looks metallic. And it's kind of down in the treetops, not up on top of it.
I just, at this point, probably scream that out to Dredge as well. Hey, there's something different, metallic up ahead. And as she says that, she kind of looks over. Real sad they fell off. To her spiders. There we go. And she's like, hey, can you let the rest of them know, please? Thank you. Quickly.
Drake, you get, there's something metallic ahead. Indy, you get, they want something metallic tasting.
Good.
Quario, you get,
that.
I'm seasick. As they're on
Wait,
the
what does
arm
Quario
part.
get?
I'm seasick. As they're on the arm part, can't get back to the body.
I think because this entire time, Dredge has left his sword there. This is the first as he walks back towards Drake, he's slowly going from like his adventuring to like his full armor. Think of the berserk armor form, and he grabs his sword, and he's like, and looks at both. Well, he'll talk to one of the spiders that are still connected. He's like, so Indy can hear. He's like, with permission, I would like to go investigate that.
Indy heard something completely different, so you want to go investigate a metallic taste?
You're in the galley, right?
Yes.
I think I just opened up that hatch. No, there's a metallic something in the distance I'm going to investigate.
All right. Just make sure that your safety lines are secured.
Understood. And yeah, I'll go that way. This should be fun. I love putting myself in danger.
Yeah. So the ship starts getting a little closer, and you'll have to kind of slow up at a little bit of a distance to be able to not run it over, but also not like slide off on that side of the brush there. And yeah, Dredge, you are able to attach on your safety wires, and you jump in. And the moment of the free fall before your feet hit on a tree, you hear that droning thing again. A ravenous hunger, ancient and cold, invisible, it seeks the bold. From the abyss, it calls your name, a curse upon those who play its game. Your feet hit the trees.
You done fucked up, dude.
He shake that energy spike happens again, and he just shakes his head. He's like, I don't live there anymore. I'm not going back. As he starts making his bounds. I mean, y'all who can see him, this is the quickest you've ever seen Dredge move, and he moves fairly quick. So he's like, it's one of those, something that big should not move that fast.
Yeah. You hurry across, and you get to kind of the area where this is, and you notice that there are just pieces of what used to be a ship all in the tangle here. It looks like branches have come up in various directions and pulled it apart just with root quakes or just the turn of it. Like this thing is ripped nearly in half, like whole to top, and then parts of it bashed in. You can just see the very edge of what looks to be a name that looks like it's called the Celeste. Clearly. Yeah, I would say clearly no crew on there, because there would be nowhere for there to be crew, as it is just ripped in various pieces.
Can I just look around? Because obviously the ship's been shipwrecked. My thing is there any foul players? It's just something that happens out here.
Yeah, absolutely. How you want to roll that while you investigate?
I'm gonna use my tides. Best relying on knowledge of the waves. I'll use, let's see, as my edge. Shadows. I don't really have, I guess, Wave Walker to just kind of move, like, so I don't get tangled up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In the wreckage.
Which you're going to need that for as tumultuous as this area is. So that's definitely going to be helpful.
So that's 3 so far. And then I have an aspect Trailblazer, increase the impact of finding routes and clearing paths through vegetation.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can only use one aspect, right?
Is aspect the middle one or the last one? Ugh.
It's the last one.
Yeah, you can use different ones for that one. You can only use up to 2. So
okay, then I also want to use hard one. I also would like to use my hard one instincts.
Okay.
You can tell which branch breaks. Basically, it helps me figure out.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a minute, so that's what 5, 4.
You said 2 for wave walk, right?
Yeah, 2 for wave walk.
So that's 5. Because you have 2 advantages, 2 skills, 1 edge.
And we roll. I got a 4, 5, 1, 3, and 6.
All right, so 6 is the highest, no doubles here. So yeah, you are looking around here, and it, like I said, looks absolutely wrecked. Very clearly, though, like natural. It doesn't look like there's, not like any burn marks or big gouges or blood or like anything that looks like there was anything that way. I would say the lack of seeing any sort of sign of people is a little weird, but granted, you didn't really ask the Arctic King. This could have been like the first one to disappear, so it would have been like a year of weathering, so you're like, okay, whatever. You don't see much of anything there, except you do see one thing on this ship. Carved in what looks to be like the floor of what used to be the deck. It just says, "Beware the waves, this eerie song. For that which hungers is wicked and strong." Just carved into the bottom of it.
Taylor, do I recognize this poem? It's been spoken to me all day. Like, it's obviously dealing with the deep.
It's dealing with the deep, and that's real weird.
Yeah, so I'll rip that part of the deck off. And then I want to look for any personal effects or anything that I can bring back to the ship.
Nothing. What probably was the cargo hold or the bay is ripped all apart. Things have been tossed, like nothing left in here. But when you do rip kind of this board off, you kind of stumble back a bit and look up, and you can see just like barely peeking out of the top of the eaves of the trees here, what looks to be a crow's nest of a different ship. Just behind this shipwreck.
I'll use my branches to strap that piece to my back. I'll tell Arlen to hold on the spider colony as I vault to the crow's nest and investigate that.
Ruby, I think you would see at this point when he kind of jumps up and then onto what's clearly a different ship that you couldn't even really see from the position of the boat and the trees at first. And y'all are able to look. Dredge, you hop onto this and kind of peek down the crow's nest to what looks to be the rest of the ship. And this ship looks perfectly intact. And it is very large. It's much bigger than the Celeste. You don't see any sort of name on it. But it's like this very thick, dark wood that is covered in some sort of ichor. Like it looks like it was made to be in this part of the world, like it's extra fortified in various areas. You don't see any people though. You don't see any sort of like cargo or things, at least on this like deck and like the captain's quarters that you can kind of see from here. But like other than that, it looks untouched.
I'm gonna go and investigate, but I'll look at the spiders and I'm like, to Ruby alone, because I think by now we figure out the telephone game doesn't work too well for us. Like,
goes to Ruby, then Ruby says it again to someone else.
Yes, I was like, tell Ruby that I'm going down further to investigate this there's another ship that's perfectly fine, no crew.
That message comes to you perfectly, Ruby.
Okay. And then I will put up a sign that says kitchen's closed, and I'm gonna go sit up in navigation with Drake so that we can get the same message.
As I'm going down,
I can also announce it. If I get a direct message, I can do the
intercoms.
40s radio voice.
No, not Ruby. Indy wants to be next to Drake for this.
Cool.
Like there's
I want you next to me too. So
all right. So
I'll do the same role if you want me to try to investigate.
That's fine. We'll let it carry over. You got a 6. You hop down onto this, and it's like very sturdy ship. It's very dark down here just because you're under you're not in the deep. The deep is like 3 miles down. But you're under the eaves. You're in what's the second section called? Not the thrash. The thrash is the top. Tangle?
I think it's a tangle.
There's a
See, that's
pretty
where I
little
spend a
picture
lot
at the
of my time
beginning.
at.
Yeah, I think it's the tangle. Yeah. Yeah,
Also-
Sky's thrash tangle. Yep.
I'll also send another direct message to Corio and be like, brother, be on standby.
Yeah, look around. The deck seems very empty. Definitely has like pieces of branch and trees. It's covered in like a layer of grime. Like it's been here for a hot minute. But nothing very noticeable on top. It doesn't even have any sort of like rigging like y'all's does. Like it might have been just a transport ship or just very basic cargo. It doesn't look like it salvaged at all. It doesn't have any machinery on it or anything. You can look into kind of what would be the captain's quarters and you see just the helm, nothing in there, the glass all broken out. That would have been on it just with some branches sticking through. And then there's just like the normal door that goes down to the rest of the ship in the captain's quarters as well.
I'll go down there because he's nothing but brave. So very uneased. And
Would
as
you
he
say
goes down,
bold? Maybe? Would you maybe say
bold, yeah,
instead
bold,
of
very
brave?
bold, yeah, very bold. And as he opens up the thing, and he's like, he has his hand on his sword, and he's like, "Oi, if you're alive, say something. If you're dead, say like that."
Yeah, you open the door and you can see the stairs going down, the ceiling covering most of your view it's just dark in there. Do you have any sort of light or like visibility and such? I know you
I
glow,
don't.
so maybe just that.
I glow, but yeah, it's just that. But I do think at this point I'll call for Corio because he's nothing but plasma to come over. I was like, I need my flashlight.
Okay. So I've been sitting here thinking about how Quario would deal with a smell that smells wrong. That's not something very usual for him. So I think at first he doesn't hear the first be on standby because he's kind of starting to go into like ghost speak mode, and the entire like engine room goes like uber quiet, like just before lightning strikes, where it's like there's nothing there because all the charged particles are forming. And just before he like truly loses himself and like won't hear anything anymore, he'll hear the last one like, brother, I need my flashlight or whatever, and then he'll kind of start levitating a little again, and then he'll go out and help.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll hand wave pretty easy. Can levitate, come back down. A little bit of a glow in here. Still nothing to note at the captain's quarters, but now you can at least see the stairs a little bit down, as it seems like it goes pretty deep into the ship. So y'all just heading in together.
Yep.
Okay. Y'all.
With all my really cool things that Indy procured for me. I just want to make that known now.
Oh, Ruby came over as well.
Oh, I thought we were all going.
Currently, it's just the two Ironbound. If you want to join, you're more than welcome.
You did tell me.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going.
Yep.
Do you want to hop on Quario's back? How would you get down?
Levitate.
Or would you ask Quario for help? Or yeah, I could also
Yeah.
pick you up, and as I'm levitating, I carry you because I can carry objects as well.
Perfect. That's fine. I'm tiny enough.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So, what is our marching order here? I'm assuming flashlights going in front, or
Yeah, I'll go
is
for
Dredge going in front?
No, I'll go for
Yeah.
Okay.
Indy and Drake are just back on the ship going, our kids are all grown up and going on their own adventures.
Let them go.
I'm still the eject button.
Right.
Oh,
Oh.
twist. That's really bad for me,
Oh no. Okay,
but
go.
makes sense. I don't have my harness on. I totally forgot. I rushed out because I was zoning out. I didn't hear all that. I got the weird smell. I don't have my harness.
Okay. You'll start making your way downtown. And as soon as, because it was Quario, then Dredge, then Ruby, kind of walking in this very thin, and two of y'all are massive, so it kind of has to do one by one.
Love that position of having this little Mothra next to these giants.
Yeah, it's like, tink. A gust of wind just blows through and slams the door shut behind Ruby. And Ruby, you turn around, there's no door. You look back, you don't see the light of Quario.
This is the demon all over again.
There's nothing left for me. No, I mean, the door is shut. There's no light. That's...
Y'all hear just the slightest echo of that from Ruby as y'all are walking down the stairs and turn around and she's not there.
All right. All that pent up energy that I have been trying to contain just fucking loses it as I don't see Ruby anymore. So there's basically a flashbang that goes off enough to where it could possibly damage the ship. And I shout, "Where is she?"
You shout as this flash of energy comes out. You can hear the like cracking of this like small staircase siding, and then the sound of it like blowing out. Like you have exploded bits of this. And you scream out, and kind of when you like the flash goes down and you open your eyes, you're not on this ship.
Oh,
you are standing on dirt. You are standing on solid ground. As everything is nearly pitch black around you, with the exception of like a little bioluminescent looking mushroom. You can see, you hear things kind of skittering around and occasionally a flash of light in various directions. But other than that, it's silent as you are in the deep.
What I'm visually saying is no, 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 all over again. I'm panicking. And I have my sword out, and the flame chakra around my free hand is fully lit up. It's like, I fought to get out of here, and I will fight again. You cannot have me. Not again.
In the heart of the surge, it lies in wait to steal your fate. Oh, that which hungers, unseen and dire, a curse on the scene. See a funeral pyre. Sailors beware and heed this rhyme, for that which hungers bides its time. You can hear that just in the back of your head. As Quario, you are walking down these stairs and get to the hull of this ship.
Is this after the flashbang, or did I not experience the flashbang?
What flashbang? Dredge is with you.
Fuck.
He's right behind you.
Oh, Dredge. Oh, okay.
As you walk into the hull of the ship, and there's light. Little bioluminescence and fireflies and jars as you see various people just sitting around. A couple are reading, some are chatting over a meal, some are playing cards. It's warm. That smell that you smelled before is gone and now replaced with just nature and some smells of bread. This is your crew. This is your crew, your ship. What's some of their names? Who are some of these people you see here, Corio?
Karsis.
Hmm.
And then we get Flagrant. And Joomb.
Joomba?
Joomb.
Joomba.
And Kevin.
And Kev. Yeah, and Kev. Not Kevin. Kev specifically.
I love how I was like typing those while you're saying them and like unintentionally just all caps Joomba. All the others are normal capitalization, but not Joom. But you come down in here and there's a little like, hey, what are y'all doing? Dredge comes like walking past you and he's like, oh, look what we found, as he's got some sort of like ancient kind of like relic that would have been like pulled up from under the sea or under the waves, and kind of sits him down as this is normal, right? Like is this a memory? No, this is now. This is real. This is the now, right?
Can I do... The smell is gone. I can't... Does he have a cat in his body?
Gonna roll on 1 through 3. No. 4 up. Yes.
He's been 1 through 3.
It's a 3.
Yes. Okay.
Ruby.
What was the cat's name?
Oh yeah. What is the cat's name? I forgot.
Bess.
Bess.
Ruby, you turn around. The door is gone. You swing back around. Corio and Dredge are gone. But you see off in the distance just the glow of a light. Like...
Follows the glow out. She's around for her friends. Like, where? No, surely there's an explanation for this. It's fine. Yeah, she is gonna go toward that light.
You start heading towards this light, and it feels like you are walking for such a long time. Like this is not a boat. I have gone much further than this ship should be. When the light kind of starts to fill the space a bit more, what does Ruby's home look like?
So quite the opposite of what we see here. It is in the treetops. Ruby's home. Okay. So this is how, reading it, this is how I imagined it. I hope that there's somebody who gets it. In the good old PC game Myst, the second level in which you get to, where it has like the spirals up the trees and all of that, and the bridges, like that is what Ruby's place looks like. It is lots of rope bridges, like, you know, that type of thing, but like not rope bridges that are like simple, right? We're not talking Bridge to Terabithia simple, okay? Like, sorry.
Hold on, my headset died. I can't hear anything again. Damn it.
I'm picturing Ewok.
Doesn't tell me when it's gonna die. It just fucking shuts off, and then I'm like, I can't hear anything.
That's exactly what you should be picturing.
Okay. We're all gonna die here.
Now I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course not.
Fine.
Not
TPK,
Gloria.
baby.
So fine.
Players.
Right. And so, yeah, like for her, you know, when she thinks about home, she thinks about, imagine it though, like thousands of feet off of the ground. Like if you fall in the shank, you die. Like,
Yeah.
like there's no saving that. For her as well, you know, when she thinks about home, she's definitely thinking of like the sunlight, like, you know, when you come out into what I would consider an opening and it hitting your face. Like for her, that's home.
Yeah. You walk out, the sun replaces what was just this beacon of light, and you can like feel it on your skin. Probably the first time you've seen sun in days of being in this world, and feels so real, and it looks so real as you stand on one of these suspension bridges, these rope bridges between the trees, and kind of probably involuntarily have a little sigh of relief or just, you know, that familiarity. But then you start to notice you don't really hear people. You don't see anyone on any of the eaves and the bridges. You just hear the wind.
Hello. Like,
Hello, 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 hello.
this would be replica, or
Th-
does it?
Say that again. It cut out just a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a replica of where she's from in the shank, or is it something that feels like home without giving too much away, if that makes sense?
It feels like it, but it's not right. There's not anyone here. There's not. It feels like your imagination. It feels like you imagine it, but like a dream, you know, where it's like feels like you're there when you're in it, but there's nothing going on. And then you hear a door slam just a couple of levels down on the tree.
Hello?
You hear the skitter of feet in the branches above you.
Great. Anyone? I just want to get back to my friends, to my family, and to my family.
You
Like,
see,
trying to, like, yeah, keep this, like, complete facade of bravery. Like, hey.
you see for just a moment, like peeking out of a window, what looks to be a face. It's dark in there, you can't really tell, but you can see for just a moment, Mothrin face, and then it disappears back away. When you put your arm up to like wave, your very pink arm
Oh.
starts to look like it has splotches of just dull gray taking it over.
Oh, man.
Well, Ruby has this moment of panic. Indy, Drake. It's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. However long you wait, they don't come back up, and there is no response if you try to send any through the spiders.
Damn. Gonna be my thing. My first.
We're sitting there waiting, playing Go Fish. So, do you have a 5? It's like
I've got 1 5. Do you have a 7?
damn it! I got 3 7s. You know,
It's been a while,
it's
hasn't
been. Yeah, I don't think we've seen them in quite some time. I guess it's recon time. So I'm
I
gonna see if we
suppose
can.
so.
Well, don't forget to
Let's,
put your harness on. Yeah.
Are you coming?
I mean, I feel like someone should stay back on the ship, but also, I don't want to
We've
stay.
got all of those.
Oh, we do have the
crew
rest of that
members.
crew.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah.
we're just idling, it's not too difficult.
I don't want you to go down by yourself. So if you're inclined to go, I'd be more than
I don't want
happy
to
to
go down by
with
myself either. That's why I was kind of
you. Yeah. Okay.
okay.
All right. Let's do it.
So we got somebody to take over idling the ship, and I guess we harness up.
Yep.
And
Oh.
do we have like hang gliders or something like that, right?
I think we established y'all had something, a couple of those on. You can kind of help your trajectory.
Since we don't have
All right.
our main flyers.
Mm-hmm. I could like Spider-Man my way over there if there are other ropes.
Yeah.
That are visible.
Yeah, however I want to get across
I
is
could
easy.
not.
Yeah.
So hang glider Indy to the rescue.
Y'all
Yeah.
head on over. Land on the same crow's nest. And just before you're about to creep down, in pure 80s horror movie fashion, Rufus?
Yeah.
Rufus comes running up, and he's the old man in the gas station moment currently. He's like, it doesn't feel right down there, y'all. Y'all watch yourselves. That witch hungers is... It's near. I can feel it.
Ship, Rufus. We'll be back.
Yeah. How did you get here?
What?
Ladder.
Who?
What? Who? Wait. Who
We're
are you
on the
saying that
other
to?
ship.
He's yelling at you from
we
the other
landed.
ship.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we landed and he was on that ship for a second.
No,
I
he's
was like,
yelling
hell no.
at you from your
Okay.
ship.
Got it.
There's a bad guy in so shot.
I was like, what the?
So, you see the same thing. A very dirty and worn but untouched deck, with the exception of 2 sets of footsteps, as Aquario probably just was levitating across. Maybe a little path of some things being pushed out of the way from just the energy, like the leaves to the side of them walking into the captain's quarters, and then to that door that's currently closed that goes down to the hull of the ship.
Cool. So,
Well,
that away?
I suppose so. Let's make sure we put something to keep this door open. So Eddie will like try to find something to push in front of the door to keep it open.
Who's opening the door first?
I think we would try to do it together.
Yeah. Both of us put our hand on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, like,
The door flies open with this burst of energy and this bright light, as whatever residual blast from Dredge just shoots out, and you topple back. Drake, your eyes readjust after this flash of light and all of this energy. But you don't see Indy anywhere.
God damn it.
You're just sitting on this ship alone, even though it's been 2 seconds.
Indy? Look around. Same ship, right? Like,
Yep.
this looks like the same room we were just on. I opened the door, yeah.
Yep.
Does it look like the space where the door was is now open?
Yeah, and it's pretty mangled.
I mean, if I don't see her around, I'm going to assume, like, she went ahead, so, like, step in, kind of peek my head around. Indy, like, where'd you go?
Yeah. You walk down, and you're down to the hull of a ship, but this is more like the hull of, like, a big, like, freightliner or something where you're kind of in the bows and the piping and such. And you look left, and you can see down what looks to be a long hallway. And you look right to see what looks to be a long hallway to the right.
Do I see any, like, footsteps or any indication of which direction she might have gone?
Nothing. In fact, it looks a little clean down here in the way of like a actively working ship would be clean. So not like spotless, but worn.
They've done a good job maintaining this place. Wipe the finger. Not bad. Right? Indy! Like, yell down one way. Wait for a response.
Indy.
Where did she get off to? Do I have my Calico Sphinx with me?
Just you.
That's okay. Weird. I'm gonna walk. First, starting to the left.
Yeah.
Start walking that direction.
Start walking
What?
for a good long while. I can hear that from in here. You sneeze loud. You start walking for a good bit, and then you can keep going forward, or you can go left, or you can go right. Big long hallways, nothing to note.
I think once I get back to that crossroads, he would turn around and walk back down the other side of the hallway to see if Indy's like in the other side instead.
You start walking that way, and you can see you can still keep going straight, or you can go left, or you can go right. Nothing to note either direction.
Damn, I can't see anything. That's so weird.
You feel in an alien location. You can't sense anything. It's not your ship. You don't see your friends. You can't note any differences.
Can I like try to pull some ropes to come my way?
There's pipes down here.
Yeah, but like drawing the skenosis, there's no nearby ropes or anything that
you
like respond.
Feel almost like immediately the power fizzle out of your hand.
Thanks, I hate it.
Do you want to go straight? Do you want to turn around? You want to go left, or you want to go right?
Do I want? I'm going to turn around and go back to the entrance I came in to see if she's somewhere up top that I missed, right?
Yeah.
Like, first immediate right turn, nothing. First immediate left turn, okay. Kind of turn back and try to go back up the stairs.
Yeah. You turn around and you keep walking, and then keep walking. Then you hit a point where you can go straight, or you can go left, or you can go right. You never pass the doorway.
Pretty sure
You turn around and you think you see something dart behind a corner. Back from where you were.
chase after it.
You
It's Indy, hey!
start chasing as Indy. Bright flash of light, and just kind of thrown off a bit, and feeling just a little discombobulated for a moment. Not that I guess really the flashlight would bother you as much as like the blast and the loud noise and such. But you fall back and then you're on your ship.
Did it work? Did we get them back?
You look and you see Captain Ara, fully formed, standing at the helm, pulling various strings and ropes, non-responsive.
Captain? Is everything all right?
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I had something to ask you. As Drake walks in from behind you and up. Drake, will you just play along with me for a moment here? This is just a normal day. Everything's fine. Did you get those new charts that we were looking for?
I did. Watching, like, reading one. It looks like we can, like, lay it on the table. It looks like, we can take this route and dodge sort of the worst of the reported storms. And I think we can actually make some keen ground if we sort of, like,
wonderful.
Bob and weave this area. I think we'll make up some good time.
That's wonderful. Well, I guess it would be smart that we stock up before we leave. We do need food and supplies for those that have mouths like you.
I already did the thing.
There. Again, continuing the conversation. It kind of drones on for a moment about general shopping list and the sorts. And I was like, to go tell, what was their name? Our new char, Sarah. Tell Sarah that maybe I've been having a hankering for tea. If maybe they can figure out some sort of way to steep that up for us.
But do the tea. I do the tea, Captain. Captain?
Doom, 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 doom. Just driving the ship as Drake goes on and goes down to the bottom of the ship.
I follow Drake. And be like, there's no way somebody else has gone and replaced me on my ship. Am I a ghost? Am I dead? I didn't think this is what the afterlife looked like. But I need to see who replaced me.
You follow down and see that what was the garden for all of your various mushrooms and teas and such has been removed. And it looks like in here is just now another place for cargo and such. As the door opens and you see sitting at a table Ruby, and Drake comes in and sits down next to her. They both clearly looked a little aged, a little older than you know them now. Not a ton, but it's giving that feeling of a future. And you see another individual in a bit of a apron, kind of cooking up some various things. We'll say that it's another Actus, an Actus individual is there.
Does he come in like, hey, Sarah, the captain has asked for some tea. Do you have anything already prepared by chance?
Tea? I'm not much for making tea, but I'm real good at making biscuits. How about, I know they're supposed to go good together, but I can do the biscuits part. I mean, maybe we can learn about some tea. I should have been smart. When I was cleaning out that room over there, I did throw out what looked to be like leaves and such. I bet that's what that was.
Resources are a little scarce right now. Like, We can't just be throwing away things as
I
we're.
thought they were
This is going to be a demerit
weeds.
on your report. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I thought they were weeds.
They're
I'm
my
sorry.
babies. You call them weeds? What? I'ma haunt you. I'ma haunt you so much. I'ma haunt this whole ship. This.
I assume I can't hear her like rage, right?
No, none of y'all can hear them at all. Thanks for the raid, Avoid Station. You're here while I'm traumatizing everybody with their characters' worst fears. Enjoy.
Ruby, can you help the Char out? Do you have any knowledge of making tea? Did you happen to gain any in our travel?
I don't necessarily have an expertise, but I have spent a lot of time with Indy.
You go to say Indy, and you can't remember their name. Like, with
That person, that...
I taught you everything I know. You can't just forget my name. Ruby, honey, please.
It's fine. Her name doesn't matter. Who it was doesn't matter. As long as you have the skill set, we need to move forward. And
I found some like books and stuff in my bunk. I can maybe read, see if there was maybe some recipes in it. It seems like they were left by whoever previously.
Okay.
I'll try. I'm so sorry. As we'll then go back to Dredge. What are you doing as you find yourself in the place you don't want to be? You were down here with now this like chant, this song seems to be echoing in the distance over and over and over and over. And you are by yourself in the deep.
Okay. So, the fact that I'm on ground freaks me out. So, I'm looking for a tree. Is there any trees around me?
Oh yeah, the base of them. You are in the roots and the bases of the trees.
So, after I steal myself, I control my energy, and I basically shout into the void, I got out of here twice now. You took my body, and then you tried to take my soul. You will not take it. And I stick my sword into my arms, and I just start climbing up this tree. Because immediately I'm like, whatever this is, I'm not staying. And I'm immediately start climbing up as hard and fast as possible.
You start climbing, and I mean every single like stab into this tree, you feel it. It feels real. You are here. You are in this deep dark. You can hear the noises of the creatures that you haven't heard in so long. The sap just covering kind of your arms and your legs as it like pours out as you're going up this deep black almost ichor that is coming out of these trees as you make your way up. What is something that you think of, whether it be something you are repeating in your head to kind of drown out this chant, or just something that is keeping you going as you climb up this tree?
The thing is, I keep saying my crewmates' names, and I keep reminding myself that I have the captain on my back and she cannot stay here. So that is my driving force, is that I am trying to get back to my family, to my brother, to my friends, and get the captain out of this. I'm not worried about me, but I'm not letting anyone else suffer because of this. And one of my biggest worries is Ruby. He feels super responsible now because he lost her. And it was like, I gotta find Ruby and I gotta get us out of here. And he's like, I was going to say, despair will not take over me.
What would you like to roll as you try to overcome whatever this little prison is that you are stuck in currently?
This prison, this is hell. This is hell. I'm going to use Outwit. I'm going to use Teeth.
Oh, lost Ruby for a second.
Our camera still good?
It'll glitch a little bit, but you can still hear us, so we'll be fine.
Okay. And I want to use Trailblazer and Hard-Won Instincts.
Okay.
That's 4. I got double 4s.
Okay. You continue up and you can feel almost constantly that you are going to slip. You're going to waver. You going to give up. Like it just your body is telling you no, your soul is trying to pull down here, and there's like it feels like something like ghostly is even just like pulling down on your legs as you continue. And it's long trek, but you are making it further and further and further. Then you see a light up in the distance, and something tells you that that light is Corio. Corio, you are sitting in the bottom of the ship. You are chatting away with some various people, if you so choose, that are here just having a time, because this is your crew, this is your family, this is a normal day to day. What would Corio be up to? Hello, welcome back.
Quario would be in the workstation or by the engine room, and they're probably in the same general area. So yeah, that's where he would be.
Just because Joom needs to come back, Joom will kind of walk over, and he's just like, Corio, I don't know if I've told you lately, because I feel like he's got to have this accent. I don't know if I've told you lately, but you are quite an impressive fella, you know. What you did today with the I turned southern, with that lightning storm was just something different. That's for darn sure. What is it that, how do you do such things?
I amass a lot of energy, and I connect with the world around me to make my energy meet their energy.
You talk about that, and for a moment, you have a flash of a memory of Drake and catching his little electric bits, and then flashes back.
Like when Drake, like when I pick up sparks.
Well, I don't know any sort of Drake.
Or the captain. Where's the captain?
You mean over there? And he points to Dredge. What are you... Did you maybe expand a little too much of your power or something? Do you need to take a little bit of a... Do you nap? Do you just power down?
Is the engine the same? Is the engine different than our Spider Dream engine?
Look over at it, and you go to your normal, like, fingies locations, and you're just touching the wall, as this is just, like, a normal, like, engine that takes some sort of, like, plant fuel situation.
Do you have weird dreams, Joom?
Oh, well, I mean, probably about as much as the next guy. I mean, you do see some horrible things out here, and sometimes those are a little hard to put to pasture. But I mean, other than that, we're totally fine. You feeling all right, buddy? Your low energy light is on.
Sorry, yeah. Quario probably wouldn't do touching his face like that, but you see like rotations of face outlets kind of move and kind of like trying to fit situations, but nothing's quite doing it. This doesn't. I don't remember how I got here. I don't remember.
You mean like ever in like an existential way, or like in this room? Because you just walked down from upstairs.
Both, maybe? What? You're Joom.
Yes.
How long have I known you, Joom?
Oh, well, I mean, we've been a part of this crew for... Well, I guess at least I get, his image starts to flicker. Well...
Keep going.
Well, hi, Quario. How are you doing today? What you did earlier was quite impressive. I mean, you're a bit of a something. How do you do that lightning stuff?
Quario's going to walk away and go talk to Dredge.
You walk over and see Dredge. Casey, would you like to keep playing Dredgen as someone who has definitely been on the ship and is totally the captain of it for an undefined amount of time that you can't remember?
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, oh, but okay. Yeah, absolutely. Ah, brother, yes. I was just looking over the charts. Impressive work today, by the way. And you really handed yourself out there. Really saved the ship. How's the engines? Are they doing all right? I know you wanted the dream engine, but it's a little pricey, my guy. And we're running a pretty lean operation here. You know, salvage crews are hard to come by.
Where's Bess?
Who?
Bess.
That's not one of my girlfriends, so I don't know.
Ara?
Not another one I had either. What are you on about, man?
You hear, coming from Dredge, though it doesn't look like he means to be saying it, the names of your crew. Quario, Ruby, Indy, Drake, Ara. I'm going to get Ara out of here. I'm going to get Ara out of here. I'm not going to stop. Almost under what this Dredge is saying.
I'm going to... Okay, this is going to be weird. I don't know how to describe this, but...
Any more weird than it already is?
Quario knows something is wrong. And so what he's going to do is he's basically going to shut off his levitation and he's going to focus kind of his ghost speak, but specifically on that little voice.
Absolutely.
He's going to focus on that voice and he's basically going to try and find that energy of any kind and connect it to his.
Okay. How would you like to roll to do such a thing?
Okay. First one is definitely going to be iron. This is gonna be a willpower situation.
Okay.
And then I am going to use sense. So detecting and defining nascent whispers or becoming aware of attention focused your way.
Absolutely.
Or empathizing. And that's going to have 3 total. Can I use my ghost heart to commune with other ironbound?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to use my tempered anchor. No, actually that doesn't work. And then I am going to see if I can grab it with my manipulate object thing. So I'm going to almost try and grab hold of it. So when my energy does connect, I'm anchoring myself to that kind of.
Okay. I'll agree with it. Yep.
Let's go. Great
Okay.
success.
Highest is 4, but I got 2 4s and 2 3s.
Okay. So you start focusing in on that as the sound around you kind of continues and people are going about their normal day because this is your crew. What are you doing? This is your family. This is your family here. And I mean, look at old Joomb over there who is fully doing the Rick and Morty human simulation situation of just kind of standing there like
Yeah.
human music. And you focus in on that and you can't it's hard to separate the noise from that noise as you're starting to realize that all of these voices around you are also spiritual in some way. Are they ghosts themselves? Are they some sort of energy? You're not focusing on that, so you don't really know, but it's making a lot of interference. But from Dredge's point of view, that light keeps growing brighter and brighter and brighter, proving to be this lighthouse, this anchor that you are climbing towards.
Oh yeah. Then whatever tiredness I did have, I would like to say that's gone away. And I'm furiously climbing at this point.
Absolutely. Ruby, what are you doing?
In the same place that she was, is her little fronds have come out, and she is, lighting the way, and she's wondering the bridges. She knows them, but she's like, hey, I saw you. I imagine for her, she was seeing oh, another Mothran face for her, or another face of someone in which she recognized, very quickly. For her, I would say her constitution, in the real sense of the word, is not very strong. So for her, she's calling out. There are probably tears starting to well up. She's alone, and she cannot find anyone to connect with, and so for her, it's hello. I don't. Can I please go back to my friends, please? And she's like, but I know, I see you, I keep seeing you, I know you're there. Hello? And for Ruby, she would probably, make her way to the area in which, as I imagine, is probably intact. But when she left the shank, it was not intact by her own hand. And so for her, she's going back
Mhm.
to the reason in which she is on the Wildsea. And okay, like everything looks fine. In her head, she's like, it's fine. Hello, and she's like calling out.
Ruby? Ruby, is that you, Ruby? Oh, I didn't hear that. It was too quiet, I think.
Oh, do I recognize this voice?
Yeah, who is it? Who do you turn around and see?
Ruby would see probably her, what would be considered her sister. She has a sister and a brother. Hey, I have to look at Ruby's thing. I have them written down. I do. I have all of that. There it is.
Luna? Yeah.
Luna, yeah, because she looks like a Luna. And Luna, why are we the only ones here? Happening?
Ruby. Why'd you leave?
So for Ruby, this raises a lot of red flags because Ruby's sister absolutely knows why she left. Well, Luna, you know what happened. No. You know what happened with Cordelia and the elders, and you, and our brother, Rada, our brother Rada, you guys fought for me, so you begged me to say you know why I left. Why are you asking such a question?
But why'd you leave me?
I had to. Wasn't gonna be self if I stayed in the Shanks. And you know that. We've talked about that. Why are you asking me such a question? And at this time, like, as she's starting to say it, her, like, little fronds are starting to, glow a little bit, like brighter, because she's like, I'm having a hard time understanding, but I know that this is not my sister. And if it was my sister, she would not be asking me again. And so, I know you're not actually Luna, but what do you want? Can I please just go back to my family, please? You're not Luna.
I am your family. And you left me. You left us, and now we're going through this alone. As the color just drains from them. Okay. What are you doing to try and hold steady? Roll-wise, but also thoughts-wise, to try and, no, this isn't my sister. Mm-hmm. This is not, no, like.
Yes. Okay. So. I would say. So for Vivi, probably in this particular instance, she would like to use, like, iron as, like, her edge, like, pure, like, willpower to, like, get her through this. On top of that, I'm going to say study, because you notice the details that other people do not. And this is something that she would absolutely know when the details were off, between determining a pattern, a flaw, a weakness, like anything like that. Yeah. So those. I don't think I can use anything else. Yep. Those would be the two that I would use. But for her, it would be just purely knowing that her sister and their bond, she would not ask a question in which she already knew the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Luna is graceful. Luna is everything that Ruby is not. Like, and it's so for her, that's what she would do.
Okay.
Oh my god. Good, Holly. I did not roll well. I got 2 1s. Great. Ruby's gonna be lost to chaos forever. It's fine. Let's go.
Well, they didn't want me to leave, so maybe when they said they understood, they were lying, and they really didn't want me to go. And now it's my fault that this is happening. But no, I have nothing to do with it. But I left, and now they're suffering. I didn't do anything to help. I couldn't help. I couldn't help. Could I have helped? If I'd stayed, could I have helped? Drake, you saw the shadow of something scurry down the hall, and you chase after it, and it turns right. It turns left. It turns right, just out of view. What are you doing? What are you feeling as every way you turn looks the exact same as the way you were before?
I think in this instance, he would be squarely focused on finding Indy. And so from his perspective, he's like, God damn it, when did she get so fast? Like, trying to keep up with her and failing to do so. Probably slowly losing track. Because, like, his very nature, he's always sort of or like mentally keeping the route that he took, so he can always backtrack, right? Like when you go hiking, you do something in the trees or an area as you're walking, so you can find your way back to base camp, right? He's since stopped and is just fucking booking it, trying to catch this elusive shadow that he believes is his friend.
You keep running, and the shadow seems to get farther away. Then it's right there. Then it's further away. Then it's right there. Everything starts to tighten in on you as you have nowhere to go but through this. No idea of heads or tails or what is what. What are you doing to try and keep your cool as everything is just closing in and you have to get out of here? You don't know where you are in space for probably the first time ever. And if you can't find yourself, how are you going to find your crew? The crew you're in charge of now, the crew you ended up adopting, essentially.
I think sounds like you're wanting me to roll.
Yep.
So I'm gonna use sharp think, trying to hone into like just the logic of the situation, right? Like I'm finding my crew. I'm working my way through this process by reconnecting with Indy, right? And then he sense, which is very very specific, like hone one of your senses to gather information is one of like the descriptors. So like keenly trying to focus on like, okay, which direction is she going, right? Like keeping tabs on that that figure or the route that they're taking.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can't really. You already said my all my abilities aren't working when I try them, so I can't do shit else. Although, if I'm starting to feel more claustrophobic, I do have tunnel wise. Navigating or moving through sort of enclosed areas, I can treat triumphs as
Yeah. You can just like
treat
focus
conflicts
fully
as
on that.
triumphs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Damn it. I hope Holly got the only bad roll. Sorry, fam. Oh, fuck yeah. Double sixes. Let's go.
Nice.
2 6s, a 5, and a 4.
You are rushing forward and everything is closing in tighter and tighter and tighter. And you are just thinking, gotta find Indy. Gotta find Indy. We came in here. We gotta find Indy. Then we gotta get our kids and we gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta find Indy. And you are just focusing in on the memory of them. And hey, the nice thing about mushroom related things is a very individualistic spore and mycelial networks and those sort of things. And when you're around someone, especially that has hallucinogenic spores and such, you get to kind of know the feeling of just them being around, especially since they like interact with you in such a like sensual way, not like ooh, but you know, like all the senses and not like a actual body kind of vibe. That you realize what you're chasing is not them. As you're pulled back behind you, then you're pulled to the right, then to the left, then to the left, to the right. You go straight for a bit. You go to the left, you go to the right, you go straight for a bit. And then there's a door. Do you open the door?
No. I don't like doors in this ship. Yeah, he'll after like realizing like everything, like moment of clarity, right? Like I feel like Indy's on the other side, so I'm gonna open the door and walk through.
You open the door. How did I achieve my move goal? I've been sitting for the last 4 hours. Anyway,
You're getting all your vibe, like your heart rate is up so much
Energy.
from torturing us.
That's what it
You're
is.
getting
That's what it is.
the benefit.
Yep. I feel like he knows what he's talking about.
Indy, you are in the galley of your ship with some stranger behind your bar in your cabinets, has pulled out your garden, is going to go through your bunk, and no one seems to remember your name.
And so my drive, or one of my drives, was to find a cure for heartache
Oh,
or heartbreak. So this is the exact opposite of that. And because Indy is convinced that they are dead, they just sit where their garden used to be and just wail. Just like absolute. You bitch! How dare you get rid of my babies and make the crew forget me?
Drake, you bust in the door to this scene. Real Drake. Drake that knows Indy. Drake that's looking for Indy. Has found Indy sitting in a altered version of the bottom of your ship.
So I recognize this is not our ship.
Right. Was the garden. Now there's just empty plots and boxes sat about.
I think, seeing Indy, I'll walk up. Indy, there you are! Like, I've been looking everywhere for you. Where did you go?
Indy doesn't even think, just like runs up and hugs Drake. Just like, they don't remember me, and I'm a ghost. Why are you here? Are you dead too?
He's gonna hug her. They're like, what are you? What? Yeah, of course we remember you. You're like the fabric that keeps the ship together. What do you mean? There's like
Gestures.
hugs and squeeze.
Gestures around. Look what they did in my garden.
I know this isn't our ship at this point, right?
Yeah.
Or do I think? Okay. This isn't home. It may look like home. It may feel like home. It may even smell like home. But this is not home.
Then how do we get home?
I don't know. For the first time in my life, I am lost. And it took everything in me to stay focused on finding you, and you are the only reason that I'm functioning right now.
Whoa, okay. How did you find, like, what did you use to focus on me? Slowly coming back to myself.
My familiarity to you, I guess. Where I was and what I thought was you, it kind of, like, I noticed something. It came to me that I was looking in the wrong places, and I kind of felt pulled. That makes sense.
Can you do the same with Quario? You know, the way that he pulls the energy off of you?
You're so smart. That's a brilliant idea. I don't know that I could find him, but I bet, and he's gonna, like, sparks off and, like, activate his tendrils.
You're still...
Okay, so you're gonna be a homing beacon.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know that I can find him. I'm out of it, but I'm gonna see if he can find us.
You're kind of still standing in the doorway there where you busted in, hugging Indy and letting the sparks fall off of you. And then you hear from behind you, "Hey!" And look down the hall that is the hall of your ship as you see yourself stalking towards you. You're not supposed to be here. Looking right at you, Drake. That is where we will end for the session of Wildsea. And come back next time to see how everyone breaks out of this. Especially poor Ruby with her double ones.
I have a plan. Famous last words. But I have
My plan is to beat the fuck out of myself. That's all I know that I'm gonna do next session.
Oh boy. All right.
No.
It is late. Let's do a quick little outros and we can yell about this in the comfort of chat. So let's do the same order as we did intros. Nick, will you start us off? Tell us where we can find you, what you got going on, all the good stuff.
Mostly on Twitch right now, so you can find me here at Resonant Moon. I do crafty streams where I make shit like this beautiful hat that I just finished here on stream, and I meant to have this done before our before our campaign even started. But there you go. I'm a non-binary variety streamer. I stream arts and crafts like this, and I also game a little. Currently doing, games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Valhalla, a cyberpunk bartending game, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
come check me out. It's fun.
Hell yeah. Let's go then to Matt.
Oh, hi. I'm Matt. At Soul Caliber Mac and Boss, in the process of moving between the two with all the social media shenanigans. Just hanging out here, doing stuff in at High Shelf every so often. Feel free to join the Discord, catch up, play some games, hang out.
Hell yeah. Gavin.
I'm Gavin. I am here all the time, or maybe not. You just have to watch everything to find out.
That then goes over to Holly. Almost said Ruby because that was the name that was up.
It's fine. I would have answered. Hey, I'm Holly. You can find me usually here and or Lost Caravan. That's it. I'll be back here tomorrow playing Mara. I love her as much as I love Ruby, and they are polar opposites. So yes, but yeah, that's it.
Casey.
Hi, my name is Casey, and when I actually decide to wake up on time instead of being asleep, you can find me here at High Shelf Collective playing or running all kinds of games. I have dipped my toes over at Lost Caravan in Apocalyptic over there as well. Other sites is Tabletop Trucking or Trucking over at 78 over at Instagram, and I would be promoting my TikTok, but I'm getting ready to shut that down and restart again. I have gained some infamous people that I no longer support, so I need to get rid of it. And the easiest way to do that is to blow it up and start all over again.
Valid. And then I'm Taylor at _potato, or without the underscores on the site that I actually like, because Twitter. But you can find me here, obviously, tomorrow playing Die, as well as Sunday. Oh, I know words. Playing Slasher Flick. I'm very excited to go out in a blaze of glory. I think JT and I are just going to probably stab each other to death. So come join for that. And then on Monday for some Never Going Home with Holly over here. Y'all also come back on Wednesday for Beacons, and every other Wednesday after that. Come back Thursday for Marvel Multiverse, and every Thursday for a few more weeks, as well as obviously this every other Friday, and Die every other Saturday. And the Rich Randomness every other Tuesday. Yes, and Mass Effect. We are at the beginning of the end there, as well as David might be having a new game starting up next month that like 2 of us may be in. So maybe
do y'all like werewolves?
Do you like werewolves?
Do you like graffiti artwork? Do you like graffiti artists that could possibly be werewolves?
Well, I have not even thought of a concept yet for mine, but I'm very excited.
I'm great because we've done this before. I'm bringing my old character back.
Nice.
He was great. If you like my shenanigans, this guy is shenanigans with a capital S.
This is gonna be great because I'm just giving the spoilers on it. I don't even know if we're supposed to talk about it yet, but hey, we're doing it. Me, Casey, Owen, who you can find on Thursday's game, and then Abby, who just played in our Ghosts of El Paso. Both brilliant freaking TTRPGers. Now all 4 of us together with David running it. Chaos, baby. It's going to be chaos. Can't wait. Get to be a wolf.
I'm so hyped.
We're going to go throw right over to Exquisite Corpse Presents. They are playing some late night. I just looked to see what it was, and I've already forgotten because my brain. So have fun, give them some love, give them a follow, tell them hey. That's it. I'm still bad at outroing these. Goodbye.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a
May all
dick.
your rolls
Oh,
be
that's
courage.
supposed to be my thing. I forgot. It's
Be
been so
good,
long.
Be good.
Yeah, one of those things. Okay, I think it went. Oh, Matt's got like
It did.
glitter
It
the
went.
whole time.
It did.
Why